We're back. We are back.
We are here.
It's like we never left.
Well, I don't know.
Hello.
Maybe.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Davo.
Right. How was your holidays?
It was... I didn't have a very good holiday at all.
No, you didn't, did you?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you all about it.
Which part? Because I know so many of it.
It was all awful. Hello, Richard. Hello, Michael. Ruth. Ben. You guys haven't gone anywhere either.
No, they're all back. This is maybe if we do this, Melbourne will win again.
Yeah, so you're assuming that we're the reason why Melbourne won.
Well, you got to be hopeful that's something right.
You do. Your summer, did you get up to much?
Just listen to your stories about what you did wrong.
So entertaining.
Every second day. Oh man, you're not going to believe it.
You got to hear this. This is hilarious. I wanted to stay so positive, people out there, and welcome to you all back to the Robbo Live. And I'm going to endeavour to put together a show with Davo here every week, similar to what we did last year. And look, last year it was one out of the box, like the year before, but we didn't expect that the boys would end back up in a situation where they were all out of Melbourne and out of the MCG. We thought we were over that stuff, but unfortunately it wasn't the case. But we did it well, I think, together. We came together, us Melbourne supporters, and I was really excited with the show every week. I really looked forward to jumping on Robbo Live just before the game, because they were exciting games. We were in an amazing place, the Melbourne Football Club, and we all know the result. It was a wonderful time. Born from the fact, you and I were catching up all the time because I was working here, talking about the Ds and just hating the fact that every time the game was done, an exciting, amazing game, we had to just
disappear into the ether
of
nothingness. Is that a little depressing?
Yeah.
A little heavy?
Yeah, and then
Sorry.
Whiskey made it a little easier, but also just made you more depressed the next day.
This is true.
So we went through it all together, and what I mean to say is we did it well together, this Robbo Live thing. Yes, we put it together, Davo, you're the tech guru, but you guys made it really great. Hey, Hazley, how's the winery going up there? Give you a plug in a minute. It's great to see or hear from you again. The Demons FC is on. Love that logo. Mike Young, go boys, and Roxanne Milner. So many people that Alan Harris is back. Evening, how are you? So many people that jumped on and made this show really great for me because I felt connected to you all, and I've always loved that connection. As a player, when I was on the field, I really enjoyed the crowd, and I think everybody knows that. I love the crowd.
Yeah.
But I felt connected again. I felt like we were all part of something. And rather than just, like you said, fade off into the ether, we were able to celebrate a little bit. I had some fun in this room, man.
It was good fun.
And we're going to have some fun tonight.
We've got a great lineup. It's not just... That wasn't the doorbell, was it?
No, that was a message. Oh. And I got this on loud because they're on their way. They've got young kids. So they've got to put them to bed. And then they're coming here to talk to you, pre-Melbourne Carlton at Marvel Stadium. It's all going on.
First time ever we've had 3 people at the desk properly.
You're going to have to leave.
I'm off. I'm out of here, which is a good thing.
You can sit over there. And
I'm going to sit over in the corner and pour myself whiskies. and just hope the internet stays up.
Yes, I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as you would have seen in our advertising pre-show and all this week, we have for you, for your listening pleasure, on the way to Marvel, if you're indeed doing that, sitting on a train or driving in a car, and you're not obviously looking if you're driving, but if you're being driven to Marvel, or even if you're at home and not going to the game at all, for you, we have the one, the only, Chunky Nathan Jones. We're going to find out why he was named Chunky. I know exactly why. I was there. When it happened, when it was first called Chunk.
Did you call him that?
No, it was somebody else.
Yeah.
Hear the story soon. Jared Rivers as well. One of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. Can't wait to get Riv here as well. These two are going to banter like you've never heard before. So this is going to be so much fun. Don't go anywhere. Now I know the game's on at 7 or 10 past 7 or whatever it is. And we're all going to enjoy that, of course. We'll try to get We'll try to get off. Claire... What do you mean late? We just built the suspense. We're
early, technically.
Yeah, an hour early.
We're technically early. So,
scoreline, Cullen. We'll read out the scoreline.
We can do. You can even try and commentate. I can pull it up somehow, and you can talk about.
We'll do all of that.
Hey, tell everyone about your Just don't depress us.
No, too much.
Like, get it out of the way. But let's get just 1, 2, maybe 3 of the depressing summer holidays that you had. Just.
I've got some great news as well. Some really awesome stuff that
Why haven't you shared that with me?
Because that's.
You just tell me the sad
stuff. I love
stuff?
getting sympathy.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, first it starts off with, I'm playing a gig over in Williamstown doing a Christmas party solo thing, and it's great. And I get this phone call, get some really great news. So excited for 2022. It's to do with TV, and I'm really pumped, right? And then get a follow-up phone call from my ex-wife, from Brooke, and she says, my boy Tex, he's got COVID, right? And back when it was a bit serious to get COVID, right? Do you know how
there's only 10,000 people getting it a day?
Yeah, it's not serious at all now, is it? It's like, so I've got COVID. So
most of us took it seriously.
Back then we did, it was scary to hear that your child has a COVID. So I was like, oh no. And that was 10 days back then, or even more, that he had to isolate with his mum. And I was just shattered because, it's awful. This was not Omicron. This was Delta.
Oh,
right?
Gosh, we're going way back.
We're talking Delta.
Yeah.
So I hated it. And who got it? And how did you go? Tell me your stories, please.
Yeah, that'd be interesting out of this whole group. How many of
you had it? We've all had it. Who cares? Like, big deal. But did you have it bad? That's, if it was really nothing, let me know. If it was bad, let me know. So anyway, Tex goes into lockdown for 10 days, a poor bugger. I promised, Claire got it. I promised... I was on the phone to Tex, mate, as soon as you get out of lockdown, I'm going to take you to Tassie. Now, Tassie for my boy Tex is his heaven. It's his. We've been to Japan. We've been to a few places. We've been to Hawaii. And if I say to him, "Where's your favourite holiday spot?" he'll say Penguin, Tasmania. He loves to go to Penguin, Tasmania to see his nan and pop and hang on the beach down there. It's great. Anyway, I pick him up on the 11th day of lockdown. Jumps in the car. He's so excited. He's pumped. You can see it. Little 11-year-old just jumping out of his skin. We get on the plane. He's talking about how great it is. He goes, I would rather Nan's cooking to Macca's. That's what he said to me. Kids really excited if you say it something like that. So we land and Dad picks us up. We drive to Penguin, Tasmania. We drive down the driveway and open the door, and Mum goes, "Oh, don't come near me. Great to see you, but I feel a bit ugh." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Have you got a rat test?" I said yes.
And that was before Tassie had any cases.
So I'm thinking I'll go to the most safe place in the world.
Yeah.
Mum tests. Yep, she's got it. Dad tests. Yep, he's got it. I haven't had it yet.
Man.
Texas just had it. Texas shattered. We had to go and sleep in the other. We've got two self-contained unit. And then we basically just drove down the road and stayed at a hotel for 4 days and then flew back. And And from that point on, it's just been COVID. Priscilla, my fiance, she got
fiance.
Yeah, I got engaged.
Something happened
people.
over the holidays.
I got engaged.
There we go.
Finally, I think it took me 4 years to do it. I was going
to 4 years to say yes, probably.
I was going to ask her to marry me 3 years ago. Before COVID hit, we were going to go on a cruise to Hawaii. COVID hits, I can't do it anymore. I'll tell you about how I did all of that as well.
Do you think I really love her? I know. I'm going to spend 3 years locked in a house with her, and we'll figure it out. And by the end of it, if we're still talking, then she'll marry me. That's what you were thinking.
It's going to make or break.
Yeah.
COVID will make or break us.
Let's just fast track this. Let's just fast track it. Let's just go on a mass lockdown and just see how we go. Well, it worked.
It worked. We're still together. That which does not kill you.
And the third thing, I learned a lot from you over the holidays in the last couple of months. Some people here probably follow you and probably learned just as much as I did about Bitcoin and blockchain and all these technical things. There was all this stuff that was really, really helpful. I made a lot of money on Bitcoin and stuff like that as a result. Well, I think I made a lot of money. I mean, I gave a lot of money.
You're just waiting
for it to come back.
Oh, Jesus.
You got hacked, didn't you?
I did. I got hacked. And before I got hacked, Priscilla got COVID from the salon, brought it home, gave it to her kid.
I jumped the gun.
Gave it to me.
Yeah.
And then, then I got hacked.
And then got hacked.
It was so easy too. All I did was click on an email.
Yeah.
confirm that this is your email. That's all I did. And then all of a sudden, you all started getting messages from me on Insta.
Did anyone get messages? Did anyone fall for it?
So this is the big point I wanted to make off the top of the show. I wanted to say to everybody, please, if you are getting a message from Rusty Robertson 24, it's not me. Now, a lot of you know it. But what you can do, if you do get this message from someone, I don't know who he is or where he is. He thinks he's pretty funny because he messages me all the time. He wants me to pay him $200 to give my...
It's probably a Port Adelaide supporter.
Yeah. No, he's probably a Bulldog supporter.
No, it could be.
He wants me to pay $200 to give my Instagram account back. I just don't use it that much. I don't care. I said, you can have it, mate, if you really want it that bad. But what I do hate is that he's messaging all of you people. And he's telling you to buy Bitcoin. Or he's saying... Here's the other thing he's asking. He's apparently he's asking people if they could help me get my account verified or something.
Yeah.
I've read
Which
this
is
screenshot.
sneaky.
It's so sneaky because it sounds like I'm asking, can you help me?
Yeah.
And a lot of people would just say, yeah, Robbo, no worries. Don't help me.
Yeah. I like how you rang me too. You were like very quick to call and go, but Dad, I've been hacked. What do I do now? And I was like, I don't know, man, run. As fast as you can.
I hated your advice because you're the tech guru and
Can't
you
help.
know everything and you said there's nothing you can do.
You can't do anything about it.
Instagram doesn't care.
Yeah.
Facebook, they don't care, do they?
Nope.
Why? Too many of us.
No, yeah, they don't care. Start a new account. They have an AI algorithm that helps them, but they just... Yeah. Sorry. I know we're talking rubbish, but we're killing time a little until...
Jonesy gets here.
Till the real people get here.
Yeah.
Because we said 6. I see, working with Russell, I got to give you the little tip, a little lowdown, and I'm sorry for changing the times all the time. But, you know, you were supposed to go live last week, and then you were like, well, you know, Riv really wants to be on the show, so we're going to have to make it next week. I'm like, okay, what time should we make it? Oh, we'll do it at 7. All right, so I make it 7. And it's like, oh, maybe we should do 6. Okay, so I changed it to 6. And then a couple of days later... You know what? I think we'll do 6:30. All right, or not. So sorry.
You should know me by now.
Just sometime between. It's like getting a delivery. It'll be sometime between 5 and 7, one of the days this week. Just hang on Facebook until we're ready.
I'm sorry, but Riv did want to come on the show, and I just thought it would be a great dynamic to have Nathan Jones and Rivs here at the same time. They're both fathers of young children, and that's why they're not here at the moment. They're putting their bubbers to bed. We know that Jonesy's got a tribe. He's got 2, and then he had 2, and now he's recently, Jerry, his wife, gave birth to twins. As we know, he rushed back from Perth and was unable to take part in that amazing grand final or be a part of that time over there with the team for the birth of his children. So... we'll ask him about the timing and why he let that happen, because there is a little bit of control that you can have over that, isn't there?
Yes.
When your children are born.
Yes.
Just go, okay, well, let's do the math. Maybe we should I'll sleep in the other room tonight. Jerry. Hello, Michelle. I was going to say Michael. Yeah, we are late.
We got a good group back.
We're a week late.
We're a week late, but then we were early for this, so we're getting ready. You had your booster yesterday, so you're you know,
I'm not good.
Little swollen. So if we do get over 200, we still have... Oh, Jesus, it's hard, this thing.
The avocado, it's still there.
Still there. We can't get rid of it.
No, it's part of us now.
It should actually go into some kind of Melbourne lockdown, like, bubble.
That's part of the family.
It can't. It's the good luck avocado. You know how to have the ashes in the cricket?
Yep. We're going to put it in a...
Don't burn it. We've got to keep it. Like, we've got to...
That's not good.
I don't think you're going to eat that.
There's a pip in it, and that's it. So we're counting it down. The boys will be here very shortly. So, look, if you've got stuff to do, of course, jump a wave and come back, but they won't be long.
They should be here in 11 minutes.
In 11 minutes. And if they're like me, they'll be on time. Hey, Davo, round 1, 13 days left.
13 days?
Almost exactly. 13 days and 50 minutes until our boys...
First game, Wednesday night or something crazy?
Wednesday night. And aren't the Carlton and Richmond supporters hating that? Because it's usually their spot.
Is it a grand final replay?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why. Maybe someone can enlighten us. Why is it that we got this fixture all of a sudden when it's never really happened before? A grand final replay as the first round. Maybe
They used to do grand final replays.
They do. They make it the first game.
And then maybe
back.
Richmond and Carlton were like, no, we're going to take a monopoly on
Yeah, the first
opening
game.
the season.
Well, they just have. They've got it. Hello, Jackie. We're not going to eat it. Don't worry. I don't think there's anything fleshy in there at all to eat.
Can't open it though.
It's like a mummy. It's mummified.
It is mummified.
So, yeah, 13 hours.
It never smelt or anything. It just sat there. I've had it here on the desk the entire time.
It's your good luck charm now, too.
It is my good luck charm.
Yeah, winners are grinners, Barry. We will get, because obviously, Ruth, because we won the premiership, and the club asked for it, Mandy. So it's a lot of things that have gone into this, but it's just, my point is it hasn't happened before, so it's a lovely thing that it is the MCG and it's our home ground. Well, I mean, originally our home ground, and we'll be playing there first. Can I make a side note really quickly? Our reserves won today. Thank you, Michael. That's a good start too. We go deep. We run really deep. Davo and I had dinner last night.
We did.
At my house. And
He was cooking.
I cooked.
Undercooked chicken.
On the Barbie. It was so funny because my Barbie's not where we were sitting, and I went around and I started cooking, and it was like almost instantly Davo was just standing there looking
Gravitated
with a beer. It's like the unwritten... Yeah, you sitting there, something's wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, I felt it. There's a man standing next to a barbecue on his own. This isn't right. I need to get there now. And I just lingered over.
Floated over, and I was like,
Didn't say anything about the undercooked chicken. I just waited. I ate it.
No. I even said, do you want to have a flip of the chicken? He's like,
No, can't touch it on the man's barbecue.
You can't fool me with that one. And we were talking about lists. We're talking about depths of lists. And we went through the list of some of the contenders, I think. We went through Brisbane. We went through Port. We actually went through West Coast, your old guys, to see where they're at. My stepson's a Collingwood supporter. We went through their list.
Rubbish.
And then we went through the
Melbourne
Melbourne
they've
list.
got lots of players that we've never heard of who are really good.
Yeah. And you were quite bullish about where West Coast were at. And
I thought they were right.
You thought their list stacks up, right? So we went through all these lists. We talked about them. And then I finished off by going through Melbourne's list. And you were...
Oh, when I know. Oh, no. Oh, no.
We sort of gave everyone like an elite or a great or amazing or... Yeah, we still got work to do.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're just going...
Gun.
Yeah,
gun. He's a gun. He's a gun. He's a gun. He's a gun. Oh, God, he's a gun.
But we also went through the age groups as well, like the ages of them. And they're all like...
Young. He's a gun and he can't even get a game. Oh, that's a problem.
That's our only problem.
Yeah.
Now, let's not moz this.
Yeah.
Hey, we could do something quite extraordinary, Melbourne Football Club. We could win 2 premierships within, what would it be?
A year?
No, 6 months of the other one instead of a year. The women's team performing very well.
See where you went there?
Yeah.
What's
Never
that?
been done before. Performing really, really well at the moment. Taylor Harris, what a sensation she's been for us. Now, I knew she was a good player, but she's really flourishing at Melbourne, and that goes to show that they've got some good stuff going on. Took tender of the mark for the mark of the year. I love that on the weekend, I think last week. And
Did you come close to a mark of the year?
I don't think I even came close.
Oh, really?
I took
You tried every week, though, didn't you?
Don't worry, I tried. So yeah, how about your break, Davo? What did you learn? What did you do? Anything?
No. I'm trying to think what happened.
was
Does
crap,
anyone
wasn't it?
remember?
A
It
lot of
wasn't great.
People went on holidays, but they were stuck.
Yeah.
Got stuck and they got COVID. Like I love how honest people have been too. Yeah. Oh, we went to Noosa, got COVID. Had to spend half of it inside.
Well, I went to Port Fairy. It was pretty good, but everyone had COVID, so everything was closed. But it was nice. I mean, I would love to have gone back to Perth, but we all know that that's a little bit of a challenge. Unless you want to quarantine for a while. Now I'm like, stuff them. I don't want to go back. You can come here if you want to see me.
That's right. Bugger them.
Yeah.
My sister's in Perth. She's got 3 children, 2 of which I've never really ever seen because they're young
my
kids.
sister, I haven't seen her for 6 or 7 years.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends if she's watching.
Yes, Clint. I played a game of footy last week up in the mountains for. It's called the Valley Vicious, and it's a fundraiser for Rett syndrome. a rare condition that affects children, and typically you don't last long. But with funding, maybe we can do stuff, So there's this amazing family up there that have been for years now working away and, doing fundraisers and this thing called Valley Vicious. Now, I played. There was only two other ex-AFL, Aussie Jones, St Kilda fame, and Lindsay Gilby.
That was funny. You ran into him the next day.
And
how's that for a chance?
Then Davo and I went to the Mornington Racecourse to the Red Hot Summer Tour. I think Riv's here. I see a Volvo out there. I think he's a Volvo driver like me. So I say
Safety first.
So I say Volvo? Volvo.
Well, I think you said a Volvo.
This is it.
You'll hear the dogs bark, I'd say.
Clint was one of the umpires up there. Hello, Clint. Were you the one that gave the push in the front? The worst decision of all time. So literally, a bloke is steaming at a bloke who picked the ball, and he didn't want to hit him because it's like a muck around game. Didn't want to tackle him to the ground because he'd probably kill him. So he just pushed him in the front. Free kick. Everyone's like, what?
Push in the front. Kind of the opposite.
I think it was a free kick. It wasn't Clint. We all said it was a free kick for not going hard enough.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. Not good enough. It's a free kick against you. Have a kick. That was weak.
That's good.
Anyway, yeah, I couldn't walk the next day, Clint. It was awful. My body cannot do it anymore. But I kicked 3. Had some fun. Tried to take a few hangers. Didn't get off the ground. Those days are over.
Did you miss any?
Missed a few. So, Jared Rivers.
Still got it. Is he here?
He's here.
I'll go get him.
You go get him, mate.
You talk to yourself for a couple of minutes.
I can do that. I'm just messaging Riv right now. So, people, let everybody know that Jared Rivers is about to join us. Jared is one of the all-time legend blokes. I play a Monday night roster basketball, senior old men basketball, and it's so much fun. I play with Jared Rivers. I play with Jack Watts, Ricky Petard. You'd know these names. I play with Johnny Meeson. Some great guys, and we have an absolute ball. And Rivs is one of those guys. Now he's just undergone knee surgery, so we're going to ask him about that. He's on crutches, I think. He can't play anymore. But I tell you what, Jack Watts, he is just an elite basketballer. It's so much fun to watch him play. The boys will be taking the field in half an hour's time. You can hear him come through the door. And I do expect you to go and watch that game. If you'd like to watch this show later on, we're going to chuck it up on Spotify. Hello, Jared. We're live. We're on. Sit there, right there. That's you, right there. You there? Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure. Sit down. What's your preference of drink?
Oh, anything that's strong, mate.
You can sort that out, Davo,
Gin,
please.
Whiskey, bourbon, or beer.
Oh, I better go with beer. Might start talking the truth.
Things might start getting loose.
I might get real loose.
Chuck them on, mate. That's you. Roxanne says, woo!
Oh, thanks, Roxanne.
How are you, man?
Yeah, all right, bud. How are you?
Really good now.
You good?
I'm disappointed in you getting
Me?
that done
Yeah,
mid basketball season. What have you
know.
done to us?
Especially when you're the top, 5 or 6 in your team.
And there's 5 or 6 of us. Jump
I
in
know.
close to the mic, mate, so they can hear.
Yeah. I know, mate. Just an old injury, but had to get it done.
What was it? Just worn down?
Both knees are bone on bone, so it's called a high tibial osteotomy. So they cut your shin bone and put some screws and plates in. So I had it done to my right knee, and that's made me feel a bit better.
So is that something that bothered you during your career, or just
I
towards
just
the end?
stopped going, and then I've got a bit of arthritis in both. So this surgery is supposed to help you before you get a knee reco, which
Mate.
I'm bound to get.
Because your NBA career is just starting to flourish,
Don't tell anyone about our basketball.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's so good.
The fun nights are when Johnny Meeson fires up and gets angry at the refs. He's been good this
It's
season.
scary. Yeah, it's been good.
He's
We're slowly building after a tough start.
Like he gets aggro, gets tech fouls. He's like, oh, Johnny, just settle down, mate. He's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I know.
this happened or that happened. I'm like, yeah, but she's like 14 and she's a ref, so just stop it.
It's blowing Ricky Pettard. We played that. There's a few kids in there, and he was like 14. This kid, and he blocked him like late in the game, and we were 30 points up.
Come on, Rick. Rick's
competitive beast.
Ricky Pettard's the king of the fast break, easy layup miss.
I know. He's shocking, but we won't tell him.
No, we won't tell it. Now, mate,
What a setup!
this is good, eh?
It's great.
It's not mine.
I know.
Davo's a guru. This is what he does for everything. Now, guys, ask questions, right? Let's do this. I don't know, Riv, you would have seen this online, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm pretty. I'm a bit old school. I don't.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry, mate. It's been crutches. No, I haven't.
We've been interviewing past players for the Melbourne Football Club for since the last home and away game last year, which infamously was down your old team.
Yes.
The last team that you played for. You don't consider yourself a Geelong person. You're a Melbourne person.
No, 10 years compared to 3.
Yeah,
You
of
get
course.
to, of course.
Down in Geelong, Maxi kicks that amazing goal, and this show comes about because we just felt flat after having to turn the TV off because we're all in lockdown, and we have to spend time with our families.
Oh, yeah. You just feel. Oh, I felt bad watching it as well, mate. Just all the supporters and members that have barracked for so long. So to win our first one for a while, and then we can't actually physically be there was probably tough for all.
It was tough for all, and so we put this show together, and we've got the likes of Todd Viney, we got Alan Jakovich on the show. We obviously Nita and all the guys that we hang around with. That was an easy get, but we started to have a lot of fun with it, and then now things are open. We this is the first time, other than Razor Ray Chamberlain, we've had. Because Razor goes to this cafe, local Italian, just up the road here, and we hit him up. And we wanted to talk about what it was like to umpire Melbourne Football Club, and he gave some great insights. It was brilliant. But this is the first time I've ever had anyone in the room that's actually a past player. So
there you go. And Jonesy as well, is he?
So what are we going to talk to Jonesy about? What are we
Is he
going to do?
coming?
He's coming. He said he's coming.
Oh, we can talk a lot. He played a lot of games.
There's a lot of things that he did. You played a lot with him as well, so that's why I've got you on, because you guys were senior players at the Melbourne Football Club together. Hey, Riv, before we get to Nathan, I want to talk about your career too and your time at the Melbourne Football Club. Seriously, before the fun stuff starts.
I'm not serious about my career, mate.
Well, that's just it.
That's okay.
Don't take too much seriously, do you?
We'll try. Nah, I don't. Life's too short.
Life's too short for that, and that's what we love about you. So you come to the Melbourne Football Club, you win the Norwich Rising Star, and it was all downhill from there. So
the first ever Melbourne player to win it, Robbo. Did I say that? Did I say that on live radio? Or is it live radio?
This is a vodcast.
Podcast. Yeah, well, look, it was a tough first year. It was my second year I won that award, so yeah, my first year was a bit of a struggle. So our affiliate team was Sandringham at the time, Zebras.
Yeah.
So I played pretty much my whole first year there, and definitely struggled early. But then, had a full pre-season the year after, and I played 3 games my first year, and they weren't good games at all. Danners was a coach at the time, so back in the day when I first started out, you'd start on the bench, and then you might get a quarter here or there. And, so my first game was terrible. We played Geelong. It was a night game.
Oh. Was it wet?
Yeah, wet.
I remember that game. We got thumped.
Yeah, it was like a centenary game. Some centenary game.
That's right. I played so bad.
Oh, mate, I didn't get a touch.
Yeah.
My dad flew all the way over from Port Augusta. I laid 3 tackles. One was on Gary Ablett Jr.
Well, that's something.
And after the game, he goes, geez, that tackle on Gary Ablett Jr. was outstanding.
That's it.
And then I knew, I was like, oh gosh, jeez, I'm going up from here. I'm going up from here. But then, I played another game, and then I played my last game that year in Perth against Eagles, and old Andrew McDougall kicked 3 goals me in the first quarter, and I didn't see another quarter. So leading into that pre-season, I was like, geez, it's going to be tough to get in. Because we had a decent team still.
We did.
When I first started. So,
but we're doing that up and down thing, weren't we?
Yeah.
From year to year.
Yep. So we played the final. Did we play the finals at 03? Well, I wasn't there 03. I got drafted.
No. We
it was
did.
Close at Geelong.
We did 02, 04, 5, 6,
so
I think.
4 finals. Yep.
But you were playing. Did you play because you won a premiership, as I read today, as a 16-year-old?
My only premiership, 15.
Only premiership as a 15-year-old.
Back in the country. Yeah.
Was that a men's team? You were playing with a men's team at 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was back then. It was good though.
What was the name of the team?
South Augusta Bulldogs.
South Australian boy. I don't know. I think we've said that. Probably was such a great bloke. And I wonder why South Australians are such great blokes, because they're so close to Western Australia.
Yeah.
That's a crack at him.
Maybe.
Hey,
Maybe.
Davo.
Yeah.
There he is out there, mate. I can see that bald nut.
Is it shiny? He's probably had a shave.
It's shining off the...
He's actually running marathons at the minute, so he's
What an
in
idiot.
really good nick.
What idiot I'm saying coming.
I know, what a loser. What are you doing?
Like he ran past me the other day down the beach, and I swear my hair went... because he went past. Right! Slapped me on the arm.
Mate, he's going. He's running like really good times.
Why? Why though?
Yeah.
We'll find out why in a minute.
Yeah, I think probably just the mental side of things, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Probably.
But then your next year, right? You come
Yep.
to Melbourne, you play your first few. Everyone has an up and
Yeah.
down, but it came together the next year, didn't it? Like you had a really
Yeah, it
good
was good.
season.
Yeah, I think just probably getting the confidence from and the trust probably of the playing group, really. I think as a young kid, and more so it's changed now with probably young kids coming in, but yeah, you got to respect the senior players, talk too much and just go about your business.
Yeah, 100%. Here he is. Now we're live.
What a setup.
We're already on. You're over here.
What a setup. How are you, old boy?
Don't swear or anything like that, because
Hey, but
All right, how are you?
yeah, good.
How's the knee?
Yeah, it's great. It's looking good.
Oh, jeez.
These nice few beers and
Gonna
make us feel even
better.
look how happy they are. They're away from the kids are in bed.
oh, they weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't in bed. They were.
Nah, either I left at the worst
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
She had 2 babies.
it's like
I'm like, see ya. Can I have a beer?
We got a beer for the man.
Got a beer?
You'll have a beer. Oh,
Time
Jonesy,
now.
Chunk. It's great to see you, mate.
You too.
It's great to see you, but as like I can see you now, not the blur as you're running past me on Beach Road.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty funny.
Like, who the hell was that? Because I was trying to get like my kids across the road. I've got them across safely. I'm like, right, okay, down the beach,
I'm like,
down
I
there.
could see it too. I'm like coming up to him. Wait!
Scared the shit out of me, but it was
Did
like
you just
being-
keep running? You would have kept.
yeah, keep going. It was like
Mate.
being back on the footy field.
Time
again.
trial. Cheers,
That
fellas.
doesn't surprise me.
Cheers,
Cheers, bud.
Cheers, mate. Good
What's
to
that?
see you.
What's in your drink, Russ? Just the calories.
I
Worry
got-
about the calories.
I got the whiskey over here.
Oh, nice.
Now we haven't said that, Davo, yet. The non-such whiskey. I'll bring it over in a minute, or you'll bring it over in a minute. The
I can get it. You
It's
want
got
it?
your name
Look
on
at
it.
Russell.
yeah, the Russell's Reserve.
Is that yours?
I found that. I bought it for him as a
Oh,
piss,
did you?
piss take. I love me whiskey. So that's what we did, Jonesy. So this is what we're talking about. We last year we couldn't
You're taking that.
we
up.
couldn't be there with you over in Western Australia, and even for the lead up games and.
He drank it with Coke.
Jeez,
Yeah.
what an idiot. See, that single malt?
That is disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
I've been having it straight ever since.
Good.
Anyway, we started doing the show and we got some amazing people on. Started off with David Needs, got Stephen Tingay, your man Stephen Tingay, legend number 2 as well. We got Alan Jakovich, we got all these great past Melbourne guys, and these people that you can see on the side making
wow.
comments from time.
That sounds like active.
Tim Carr says hi, Chunk.
That's unreal.
Say hi, Tim.
Hey, guys. Hey,
How
Timmy.
goes the triathlon training, Louise? Crowley? Well, that's what we're going to talk about first, don't we?
Don't know why she's not asking me about the triathlon.
Oh, yeah. Bung knee.
You wouldn't
Sorry,
any.
mate. Yeah, nah. Definitely.
Nah, we're going to set him up on a bike. He'll be
Yeah.
alright.
You could do the bike leg.
Do the corporate try next year. We'll go as a team. What are you doing?
Nah.
I'll
No
sit
interest.
there with the banners. Go Chunk, go Riv. Tell me why? Why are you? We want to know why are you running triathlons and doing marathons and things like that?
Well, when I finished up, I was just like, I didn't really know what I was going to do, and didn't have any sort of direction from a job point of view. I had a bit of an idea, but it was like I wanted to see what the lay of the land was before I committed to anything. Add to the fact that I had the kids,
Yeah,
twins, plus another 2. I was just like, there's a lot going on.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
Idiot.
and yeah. And then so I was more just like finding a routine, like finding a purpose again, like other than the family stuff. But like once the kids got back to school, and like I'd help around the house with the babies, there still ended up being like a lot of downtime. And while I was sort of finding my feet as far as like what to do next, career path, those kind of things, I didn't want to just be sort of floating around and being like, hey, want to catch up? And like I just needed to like find something that gave me that same sort of routine and drive. And that's like the life I've lived since I was probably 12, 13, I reckon. Like always had something to do, was always striving for something, had a goal in mind. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. I originally was going to do the Melbourne Marathon, but I started training by myself with no real direction, and I got about 3 weeks in, and I'm like, far out, this is way harder than I thought. Yeah. So then I took a long goal. I used to do triathlons when I was a kid, and I always wanted to
before you got drafted, you were full on into
yeah. Like it was like typical Aussie.
How's that though?
Typical Aussie kid is like typical Aussie.
And your nickname's Chunk.
Well, I hadn't done it for a few years.
So how are you doing triathlons and your nickname's Chunk?
Typical Aussie kids like basketball or cricket in summer, footy in winter. Whereas I like did aths and I don't know swimming, and then.
Because marathon runners are all thin, tiny little...
Yeah, no, I know. It's random, huh?
Shannon Byrne looking things.
Yeah. So anyway, I just set a goal of about 16 weeks out from the Melbourne Ironman, which is half Ironman, which is about 2 weeks away.
God.
And it's been good. Although I started a full-time job and been busy as with the family. So now it's like, how do I fit training in? So I'm getting up 5 a.m.,
and playing footy, card draft.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just a one-off.
Yeah. Did
Um,
you try to get him?
What was that?
Did you try to get him to play footy for you?
Nah.
Oh, I did.
You did try.
Oh, actually, you did, yeah. At Wesley.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to coach.
Collegians,
Yeah. Nah.
Done.
Nah, there's no way. No, I don't really have much interest, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm keen to do the Carlton draft thing because that's like for an epic cause and it'll be fun.
Yeah. It looks fun.
Yeah. And then my local club, I considered that, but it all came in a rush. I had 6 months of doing nothing, had my feet kicked up, and then in the last couple of weeks, a whole heap of stuff sort of being put on the table. So, which is good. It's nice. It's nice to have all those sort of opportunities come at me, and it's just figuring out what way to go next.
The Mount Eliza Redlegs.
Yeah.
The original club. What a great club.
I might go back maybe for one.
Come on, just one game. For the Redlegs, it's
just get there. Yeah,
it's pretty easy fit, isn't it? They're red socks.
Mate, I wore the same kit for my whole career. As a junior, I wore D's kit, sung D's song, played for the D's.
It's meant to be. Meant to be. I love what you talk about the transition thing from coming out of the and what you're doing. So you, Riv, you finished up at Geelong.
Yep.
So you had the opportunity to go to Geelong. Talk me through why you took that, and jokes aside, and then when you finished playing AFL football, what was your thing? What got you through to the next stage?
The reason why, because back in when I was making that decision, I think we had Neildy there at the time, and we weren't going great, and I knew I didn't have a long time left. Probably physically, and probably mentally as well, to be honest. And I was 27, I think, at the time. So, Geelong. That was the first year. I think maybe free agency started. Like it was started to snowball a little bit. So, caught up with them, and I just felt wanted, And I reckon later in my 10th year at Melbourne at the time, I just felt like they were going through a new phase and young kids, and it was a tough decision. Don't get me wrong, because we still had a lot of really close mates there, but given that we didn't have a lot of success at that later time, I thought, geez, I'd love to feel it. I'd love to feel it after so long. So, and I knew Andrew Mack. I went to school with Andrew in Adelaide for a year, so I knew someone there, and I met a few boys down there at the same time, and we just connected really well. So it was a tough decision, but I'm glad I did it. I met so many people, and just different ways footy clubs run. Like they're really been successful for such a long time, so I learned a lot.
And then when you walk out the door for your last game, for the Cats, and you're about to step into this new life,
the real world,
that everybody else lives.
Oh my God, it's a wake up call.
I know, absolutely.
No
it's
matter
huge.
how prepared you can be, I would say I would be one of the more prepared, and I'm still like,
wow.
It is, and it's one of those things. compared to any other, I think professional athletes have it as well in different sports, but you're at an age where so I was 30 at the time, and it ranges from some boys finish at 24 to 36 to whatever. And if you haven't gone to uni, you didn't get a degree or you didn't study, it's a really difficult time for you because a lot of other people that have gone to uni and started their workforce.
You essentially
18,
start
20.
all over again.
Yeah,
You start
so
your whole life again.
And it's tough, mate. I've been in footy for a long time, and then I went into coaching post playing, which was great, and which I wanted to do, which I was thankful for that opportunity at Collingwood at the time. But yeah, it's one of those ones where and people go, oh, do you know what you want to do? Well, you're like, I haven't had a lot of experience of doing much else. Yeah. So it's a really tough time for yourself to try and figure out what you want to do, and your family, and I was married at the time, so it's
still married.
Just
married at the time.
Just with the
I was surprised at how keen he was to come. Thought it'd be hard.
No, it's just all those things, mate, going through like Jones went through recently. So it's one of those ones. It's just a really difficult time especially if you don't know what you're going to do. So
yeah. But I was the same. I absolutely was, and I think I sort of had a little bit of what you're talking about. So I resonated with what you just said then. When you're always trying to do something, you're always trying to achieve this footy thing. So you had this ultimate goal all the time, and even at the start of the next season, you just trying to get as fit as you could, kick better, handball better, mark better. You
didn't handball too.
Yeah, what did I say? What did I say? Handball.
Come on, mate.
That didn't happen. Kick better, mark better. That's about it. Yeah. And then it's gone. Like that whole notion. The way you've lived since. When did we start really seriously? Like 15.
Yeah, probably.
Is gone. So you have to find something else to throw yourself into. Because if you don't, you're just an absolute pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's what I found.
I probably got that wrong for a little while until I really started. I have a passion for music, so I threw myself into that a lot. And thank God, but a lot of guys don't have that thing, and that's where it falls down. So triathlons for you, which will probably
I would pick surfing or golf, obviously, but like with the kids, it's just almost impossible. Oh, shut up!
I've seen you play
golf. I got you.
Thank God you picked surfing.
But like for me, that's like like golf and surfing and those kind of sports were like a release. But for me, it was like having what you said before, like something to strive towards. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'll set a race up. And then I've done a few little races in between. And I got more joy, as much as I spoke about the routine, I got more joy in actually competing. Yeah. Just because it like gave you, I was like, oh, that was fun. Because it was like, I was like, oh, I'm not going to take it serious. Then you go and race. And the competitive spirit that you've lived off, all of us have it. Yeah. As soon as you get out there, you're like, oh, I'm having a crack here.
It's the white line fever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, that was the one thing I thought I'd be able to just move on from. Yeah. But that's the one thing that I've gravitated towards more because you're like, it like feeds you, it's that, the purpose and the routine is one thing, but then it's the reward and the chance to compete. And, I think that's the one thing that I've enjoyed the most. And that's sort of kept, it's a sanity thing, really. Yeah. Like, if you don't have that, then like what direction you sort of floating along kind of thing.
Well, I Googled you today, and Davo's gonna pick it up. Or not today, last week, and we were both surprised. We thought there's definitely something that you can get into next, and it could be World's Strongest Man. I think you know what I'm going to bring up. This is hilarious. If we can get it up in a second. And I'm going to talk about the origins of the chunk, the legend that is the chunk, and where that came from. Because I was there.
We were on the Gold Coast. I still remember. I had my surfboard and I opened the lift.
That's right.
Who started?
No, and Robbo and Ooze are in the lift, and the door opened, and they just both start pissing themselves. And I'm standing there with my surfboard. And they're like, "Have a look at him! Look how chunky he is!" And then Ooze is like laughing, like, "Oh, like Robbo, your nickname's Fat. Let's nickname Chunk. Let's nickname Jonesy Chunk." And I was just like, "Oh fuck." And honestly,
exactly how
it
it
has stuck ever since. Like that was like first year training camp. Like I've been at the club not even a month.
Not even a month. So I roomed with him, like, because they were doing that thing where
And Ooze would just randomly laugh at the both of us, like if we were walking together. He'd be like, "Look at you two! Look at your fat asses!" Like,
well, he's your brother, and his name is Nathan
I
Jones
know.
as well.
It's actually Nathan Jones.
yes,
Have a look at this,
he's a
people.
WWE or F wrestler.
His name is Nathan Jones, and he could be you. He could be you with a few human.
well,
human.
I-
Have a look at him.
I'd look similar to that.
Look at this man. That's you in pre-season. Just pre-season.
Oh no, I was
He's a
never
big
that
boy,
buff.
isn't
Yeah, he's massive. Being in jail, I've
Has
done my
he?
research.
You
on
know
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was he like
you've been.
6'5" or something? He's,
Oh, he's
massive.
massive. Yeah.
I was
Yeah, man, in
rooming.
jail, Jonesy, but you probably stayed a night.
Oh, I have.
Have you?
Lock
In
up.
Vegas? In Vegas, mate.
You're
Oh,
you're
here
on
we
that
go.
trip. You're on that trip.
Here we go. Vegas. Let's hear all
Oh
that.
nah.
Mate, you know the
Can't
golden
do
rule.
that. Can't do
golden
that.
rule footy trips.
Now, so we were on the Gold Coast. He's only been at the club a couple of weeks. And Ooze was great fun. We all know Ooze is great fun.
Yeah, it was.
He called me fat because I had a big ass. Like, I got a big bum. It's kind of like high muscles at the back, which makes... I
Strong
say
words.
It's real perky.
Strong words.
Right now, it's like kind of sloppy though.
it's gone.
It's gone. He hasn't squatted
But
enough
at
in
the
the
time,
last
I-
like, 6 or 8 years.
I had them glistening back then, you know, on the squat machine. And the high muscles, so it made my look like an elongated ass with a perky back. Fat hole, effectively, was the nickname. Fat hole.
See, like these days, the
Fat hole.
nicknames you
Yeah.
had, you wouldn't be able to do it these days.
Well, yeah,
Couldn't.
no.
No.
Get in trouble.
Oh, no.
It's not politically correct anymore.
No.
Get emotionally.
So anyway, I'm rooming with him, and I'm like, who's this young kid that looks like he's got his hair's going to go soon?
Did you even talk to him about that?
Oh, well,
because you were pretty.
He had to. He had
I
no
had
other
to.
choice. We were roommates.
Trying to,
You didn't talk to
because
me.
most of the time he's at the window, looking out the window at 4 o'clock in the morning, going, "Oh, look at that wave! That's rolling sweet off the."
Actually true.
He was just giggling.
What a loser.
He was getting all.
I'd like get out of bed at 4 and go and surf.
He was rating each wave, and I'm like, go to That's amazing. I'm like, go to sleep. It's 4 o'clock. We trained all day yesterday. It was hot.
Young kid, full of energy.
Full of
Oh
energy.
yeah, absolutely.
Those were the days.
Oh, they were good days, and they really were. And that's what I want to talk about is the positives. We got to obviously love to talk to you about what's happened recently, and you know, it's never easy when you finish at a football club. It never ends nicely. If it does, it's 0.1% of the time.
Yeah, very
No.
few fairy tales.
David Needs got to finish up as he wanted because his neck was buggered. But maybe had he played on, they would have said, "Right, that's enough, mate." So it's
It was a
hard.
good decision by Nato to
Yeah, he was.
finish
Yeah,
up. It was time.
for the direction of the club.
It was time. A direction. The club was going a different direction than the big skip.
Good times at the club for you, Jared.
Oh, it's great.
You know, what do you remember the most?
I think the early days was because I've always tended to hang around older people, especially when I was younger, playing footy back home in the country, and I just had that natural urge to go and hang around, you know, a lot of older guys, and I just enjoy their company a lot. So the likes of, you know, really close with Greenie and Brucey and yourself back in the day, and Nita, and I was only 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Biz, and so it's just those moments you probably, at the time, you don't realise how special they are until you probably finish up. And the best thing about playing footy, mate, was just the friendships that you make along the way.
Yeah.
And the memories that you do have. Like, everyone thinks, the time you played in Melbourne, you weren't successful, you weren't, like, but there's so many good memories.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, you know, like, winning games of footy means it has to be,
Yeah.
you know,
All
there's
doom
still
and
tough
gloom.
times, yeah. Like, but you get through it, and
But it was for different reasons.
character,
though.
and
Yeah.
all that.
Like
all
you
that
bond
stuff.
when
100%.
Yeah, so it's all
100%.
one of those things.
Going through the trenches together, like we were copying it from all and sundry. I've talked about it a lot since doing the Robbo live show about how hard we actually had it in terms of a training facility sense. And North Melbourne were the same back in the day when we first started the game, playing in the AFL. They obviously got a better training facility as time went by, but they won all these premierships out of a really ordinary situation. It was because they banded together. And obviously they got a really great player there in Wayne Carey and some better situations. Our club at the time was just really, I mean, you know now, and you playing at Geelong, having one place to be. You know now, being at Amy Park for those years, how much easier, I guess it was.
Yeah, and it's still like really...
Still a bit behind.
We're still not a bit behind. We're a long way behind.
Really?
And there's a lot of clubs like that. You only have to go to WA, and we're in WA. You should see the Eagles facility. Like,
You probably just live there, couldn't you?
oh mate, it's like the best thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
And all of us were just like, oh, have a look at this. Like,
Wow.
and the grounds are like the G, and they got this huge like. And that's not to say that makes you successful, as you said though. I think it's more. It's like what you can breed culturally.
No wonder they're so shit house when they play away. West Coast
Hey.
water over there. Like, I don't want to name names, but there's an equilibrium loss once they go across the Lullaby.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not allowed across the border anymore.
No, you're not even allowed.
That Premier Guild.
Oh, he's got to go. I mean, this is just a conversation that I wanted to have this evening about. I wanted to talk about transitions a lot because everyone's going through transitions at the moment, just a different way of life. There's just so much shit that's being thrown at us in terms of the world and COVID and, you know, new jobs and a different way of life and dealing with children that have to deal with COVID and the upsets that come from that, you know. When you finished at Melbourne and you knew it was done, and here's the thing I have a problem with you. You knew that when you were about to go into the bedroom, in the boudoir with the lovely, you must have known. You must have done the math a little bit and gone, I better not, because this could marry right up with a grand final day.
Oh, not really.
You just took what you could get.
Surprising by you. You're pretty switched on with all this.
Nah. Well, we'd had a bit of a tough run. Like Remy's 5.
Yeah.
So we tried a little bit in the interim and just struggled. And we'd almost conceded that we were like,
It's not going to happen.
nah. And then we got back from the hub, and Jerry had a miscarriage then, and we were like, fuck summer, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just
Which is exactly what you did.
Oh no, we're just like let's just forget about it. No more pressure. Let's just go on. Like, we haven't seen all our family. Everything was opening back up. Let's just have a fun summer and
Literally
we'll talk about it after. And then January came along, and
So how did she break the news? Did you?
oh no, well she's like, I'm pregnant, and we were like, obviously because we've had a bit of trouble, we weren't too super excited. And we go to the obstetrician,
God.
and then off you go. Yeah, she's like, yep, everything's going well. There's a heartbeat there, but I just got to let you know, I think there's 2. And I was just like,
Oh my God!
joking.
Talk me through that. That must have been.
And then I just sat back in my chair like, and she's like, just give me a second. I just got to double check. And then what? 2 and 2 heartbeats, and I was just like, holy shit. Yeah.
I'd have probably walked out.
I was losing
That's it.
Obviously, we
I'm
were
done.
celebrating, we were laughing hard, but then I just started to think like, oh my God.
Where am I going to put the tattoos of their names? I've got no space for
not
this.
even. I was like, I got to sell Jerry's car, and I'm like, I had to concede the fact that I'm now have to drive a Kia Carnival. like what? I was like, seriously, man. I rock up at school drop off, like press a button, and it's like the door like opens and kids just file out.
Like those buses that
Yeah,
travel at the airport.
I was like, and Jerry and I at the start, we like just wouldn't. We were like, no, we're not buying one. Well, I'm gonna buy like a.
There's not many cars, though, is it?
There's no cars.
No.
Like, I was so desperate not to buy one. I was taking baby seats to like all these different car dealerships, testing out how the configuration of baby chairs would go, and I was just like, I got to the point I was like, I'm done. I'm conceding. I have to buy a Kia Carnival. And to be honest, best car I've ever had. I actually love it.
Give him a plug, hey?
Oh,
Yeah,
you see me rolling around, silver one, Bayside. I'll
Rims.
fat arm in it now. I love it so much.
Window down.
Yeah, 100%. Tunes pumping, kids everywhere.
Surfboards on the roof. Probably got room for surfboards inside with a Kia Carnival. Oh, it's amazing, mate. How life changes.
Yeah,
You come in as this young, chunky kid from Mount Eliza, just trying to get a game, and now you've got a tribe. A tribe of kids. What's dinner time like? Is it hectic?
Well, from about you'd know, Riv.
Yeah,
From
well,
about what, 5 to
He's got-
5 to
he's-
7:30,
But
8.
just peak hour. Like,
Yeah, it's just full on.
And you've got girls too.
3.
It's going to be an issue later on.
You're going to go back? Go back? Go back for one more.
No, my brother's got 4. He's not happy. That's just too many.
He's not happy.
He's not happy.
So you're looking at him going,
Nah, 3's
I'm not going there.
Ever since we've had the 3rd on St Kilda Road, I've never seen. But there's Dr. Snip on St Kilda Road.
Ah.
Drive down there road a bit.
Hey, can we seriously go together?
No,
I need to go ASAP.
I know. I'm
Get it
just like,
cheaper. 2 for 1.
I don't know, but
Going together.
no, no more, mate. No more. But it's just busy. That 5 till 7. It's just trying to manage and 4. The twins will be hard because you're pretty much doing everything. So
What about Jerry with feeding with 2?
We quickly transitioned to bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Too hard on her.
It was just like, you barely keep up, and she'd just be exhausted.
knackered if you do breastfeed.
Exhausted. So we transitioned to bottles, which made it a hell of a lot easier. And now we're in a pretty good routine now. We've got a fair bit of help. Jerry's mum is with us probably 4 days a week, I reckon. And without that, we're very, very lucky in that regard. Like it's the transition's been good, and the fact that I was lucky enough to be able to take 5-6 months before I really worked out what I wanted to do and where I was going to go. Like it sort of gave us a chance to take a breath and help each other through like that transition period, which we're having a good time. It's good fun, and obviously the older 2 kids make a difference. Like Bobby and Remy are 7 and 5. Like they're it's like having an extra set of.
They can help.
They help heaps. Yeah, they get right involved, feeding and changing and showering and stuff. So it's good fun.
And the marriages are still okay? We're still it's going okay?
It's good, mate. It's just you definitely appreciate them, like just because clearly they go through a lot. Well, their whole life completely changes. So you appreciate what they do, and she's been a star.
So all right. So you find out that you got to go back anyway. And that's okay. You got to go back, but you could have stayed. Do you think
Jerry and I had a discussion before I left. Originally, I wasn't going to go to Perth because I was like, it was already starting to trend towards being close, but she was adamant, and I was like, because I'd been on the cusp of the team, like, I reckon for a month I'd been emergency.
So before we go any further, on the cusp, talk about what was happening, because I don't think a lot of people know you were playing scratch matches.
We played like a few VFL games and then a couple of like, they were scratch matches really against opposition, like 16v16 games. They were full-on proper games. Like they were good, and they were actually pretty high quality. And to be honest, I probably played as good as I'd played in a few years. And that's Goody's words, not mine really. But and I felt real confident, fit. But in saying that just coincided with how well the team was going. And when we're going that well, that deep in the year, no injuries, pretty hard to change a winning side. And that's just part and parcel of the game. Like right place, right time. That's just how it goes. I gave myself every chance all the way up until the prelim, and I was always going to go. I was going to Perth, and I'd make a decision after the prelim. Yeah. And mate, we absolutely smacked Geelong. And I waited to the next morning to see, but I knew there's no injuries out of that. Yeah. And I wasn't prepared to stick around and see if someone got hurt, because I would never have wished that upon anyone. Yeah. And my priority was to then get back home and be with Jerry and the kids. And luckily I did. She'd been in hospital for almost 10 days prior. So Bobby and Remy were getting looked after. Jerry was in hospital on her own. Yeah. Victoria was locked down in COVID. Like it was just, I had to go home for sure.
See, for you and me, we're thinking, how, and like all these people that are watching right now and that will be listening to this later, you're just thinking about that whole, you've played your whole career, and a long career, not just a short one, to play in a grand final in a team that hasn't played one in 6 to 7 years. Yeah. And then you're right there at the very end. So all we can think about is that. But then to hear that you're thinking, well, I've got a family, and you're actually preparing to go home. It's just a different take.
Yeah, like the decision was always in my hands. I could have stayed if I wanted to, but I was being realistic. Like that, they're not going to make They're not going to make a change to the team after we just won the prelim so convincingly, and there's no injuries. Even though I might be the next 1 or 2 guys in. Like I'm the 23rd or 24th man, really. But mate, I don't regret it one bit. I think I've said that publicly, and it is what it is. Like it wasn't an easy pill to swallow. There's no doubt about that, because it's frustrating. You look at the whole year and maybe a few things could have gone different, or what could have I done different. But, mate, hand on heart, couldn't have done much more personally. And I'm just wrapped for my teammates and the club, and I've got to look at it in a different perspective rather than, like, I could be real bitter if I looked at it individually, but if I take that, it's like I'll be haunted by it forever.
Yeah.
Versus if I just, accept it for what it is and know that I gave my absolute best effort. I'm proud of that, and I can walk away and move on with the next chapter in my life.
Yes. Oh, mate. Very mature. I don't know how I'd go with that.
Oh, mate, I was watching it from a mate's point of view. I just couldn't believe how he just handled himself through the whole process, because I don't know if I could have done that myself, mate, to be honest. It would have been really tough, and probably that's the thing that people don't realise from the outside looking in, how much time you invest to your career, but the footy club, and like, it would have been. Yeah, he did so well, mate. So that's where it's one of those ones where it's it's a tough one, but he made the right decision.
You make a great point, and yes, Catherine, was it Louise, says bad timing. We knew the practice game was happening, and we thought we'd get it. We thought we'd get an hour in at least, and then you can go and watch the game. That's fine, but this will always be here to watch later on. So I'm just glad I got the boys together. You're right though, Riv, because Jesus Christ, playing AFL footy may be what you think, like, training, live the dream, play at the MCG. There is so much more that you have to give to be involved or be a part of a football club. Like, there's sponsor functions, and when you're a captain, you've got to do a shite load more than everybody else, but there's extras that you've always got to. You've always be thinking outside the box. How do I involve my teammates to be a better person around the club? It's just every single minute, isn't it?
For as much as the physical drain with training and just preparing your body and stuff, there's a whole heap of mental that goes with it, whether that's pressure for performance, or whether it's what you said, like just always being on, whether it be function, whether it be media, whether it be whatever. Like, you're always representing the club, and you just got to be sort of towing the line and all those kind of things that go with it. So
it's 24/7, really.
It's
like
24. It's full. It's totally like fully absorbing, and everyone else in your life around you is absorbed in it with you. You know what I mean?
So this is a segment that I want to get going on this show that's going to start tonight.
It's a new one.
It's called Yeah Nah. I think it's a great name for it. It's like,
well done, mate.
And it's on the back of, I watched the thing that Melissa McCarthy did. I think she's hilarious. The chick from Bridesmaids. The
what a movie.
Larger woman on that show. She is so funny. She loves Australians, and she loves the way we say yeah nah. It's like,
I reckon I say that a bit.
You do.
Yeah.
You say it a lot. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I like what you're saying. It's good. It's a positive affirmation that we give to you before we say, no, I'm just not going to do it. So instead of telling me who your favourite person is, or who your favourite, your favourite game, let's talk about the shit times, because it's all too positive out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nah.
We're all
Yeah, nah. Oh, there was plenty of beers drank.
Didn't miss out on that.
There's plenty of drowning sorrows, but
Just to get through each week.
Righto, worst bloke you ever played footy with?
Are we doing this?
I am. Kale Morton. No, I'm only joking. Sorry, Kale. Oh, sorry, not sorry.
Is he Western Australian? I think he is, isn't he? Yeah.
Where is he?
Stands to reason, Davo. Kale Morton.
Dave.
Jared, worst bloke you've ever played footy with?
What, you mean as within
Just
Melbourne?
a shit bloke. No.
Oh, Cameron Bruce.
Thank you, mate.
Cameron Bruce.
Oh, my.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, he's one of my good mates. No, you can't.
You can't say that,
You
mate.
can't
I
say
know, it's
that.
terrible. I thought I'd lead off with that. Most hated opposition.
One.
Most hated opposition. Who'd you hate playing against?
Sam Mitchell.
Sam Mitchell.
Absolute country mile.
Yeah.
Why?
Can't stand the bloke.
He wouldn't be watching this and listening to it.
I don't give a shit. I hope he watches it.
No.
No Hawthorn, ex-Hawthorn, 4-time premiership player would be watching Robbo live.
You never know. You never know.
I've got my own personal reasons, but I'm with you.
Oh, mate, seriously.
Hawthorn? You mean, or...
Well, all of
Sam
that.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh, when Louis joined us, I was like, I'm not sure we can be friends. All you've done is rip me flat out for like 5 years, you dog. But turns out he's a ripper. Him and Ruffy are legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And they laugh about the fact that they used to get into me. I'm like,
I
hate you blokes for that.
I heard a great story that makes me love Sam Mitchell.
Love?
Just because it's funny so I like Sam Mitchell. Adam Uze, Cameron Bruce go to Hawthorn to coach, assistant coaches, right? They start their coaching careers. And Alistair Clarkson pre-season has gone, righto boys, we're dividing up into teams. Bruce is going to coach one team, Uze is going to coach the other team, okay? So these are the teams, and they divided the team up, okay? And out they go. And Adam Uze is sitting at the back of the room next to Brucey. And once Clark goes, he's finished it up, he said, righto, go and get ready, we're going to go play this game. And this is back in, 2011, 10, 11, Hawthorn were going so well, 12. We weren't going so well. Sam Mitchell leans over to Ooze and says, so are we trying to win these games or are we going to try to lose?
Oh my God.
Oh, well, that sums it up then, doesn't it?
That sums it up. Seriously.
Cheers, Sammy.
Absolute human.
Joanne Griffith says, one of my favourite memories of Russell and Jared was a DTV episode where he had Jared doing crazy things. I was like, kick footies into the lips at the G. Oh, yes.
Joanne, yes. That
Yeah.
was a top rating show.
We got so many views. We got 3.
James Seller. Yeah, he wasn't.
Which team did you hate playing against, James?
Steve Edmonds. You should read that. He thought I was going to say
Country
something.
Mile.
Absolute.
I'm with you, Steve. I thought he was going to say that as
No,
well.
I would never say that.
Yes, you would.
Not like this in this forum. No.
Yeah, no.
James Seller, worst.
Ben. What was the question again? Worst team.
Who'd you hate playing against? Where'd you hate going?
Geelong was always tough, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
Always tough. We had that one good game down there where we won. Did you play in that game?
No, I don't think I did it. Oh, it was a draw? Or who kicked it?
No, that was that. No, the one where when I was playing the draw. I don't think I played in that
you
one.
like that game because you kicked 5 or 6.
I'm always going to bring that
I
up.
remember, this is what he does, mate. This is what you do.
If I have a talent for anything, Jared.
What did you kick? 5.5 or something? I remember that.
5.5.
7.
7. Was it 7 or
I
what?
kicked 7.5.
5.5.
Who'd you play on at the top? Was it Scala, you were telling me?
I played on.
course it
no,
was.
I played on Max.
The best defender of all time. Rook, Max Rook.
Was it? Yeah, Max Rook for a while. I had a few.
You're nowhere.
Oh, I'm done.
You brought up Geelong.
Yeah, no, I was...
I had played against Port Adelaide. I don't know. The supporters just seemed to be.
Yeah, going over there was a bit of a...
Yeah, I hated playing
Tough,
them too.
though.
They were tough early days.
They were pretty honest.
My dad nearly had a
supporters.
punch on with the Port Adelaide supporters, and he has form with, and your old man had form with supporters as well, and that was terrible. But I'm going to tell you a story when I was playing down in Tassie. I you know how you
done
play-
Tassie, though?
Yeah, this back in the Tassie days. I was playing for the Burnie Dockers, and you play for the Mariners, you know, which he played for the Stingrays. I played for the Tassie Mariners at the time in the under-18s.
Was that in the TAC Cup?
TAC Cup, yeah, that year. And we'd go back to your club to play when you weren't playing for your under-18s. And so the first game back, Burnie were killing it, and they were going to play in the grand final. And this was like the second final. I couldn't expect to just walk straight into it. And I don't think I would have either. I don't think I was that good, but I got a game in the reserves. So I played in the reserves. We had a win. It's all good. No, I don't remember.
Come on, mate.
No, I don't remember.
Don't you love telling these stories? What'd you
17 marks.
How many sags?
I think it was that day. It was not bad.
Well, there you go.
I'm lying. I have no idea.
Did you walk back into the premiership title?
No, I didn't. I didn't get there. So, and I'm dirty on Peter German to coach the seniors then.
I've been told. Yeah, I've heard that
He's not the
history.
greatest coach.
He's brutal.
History.
You don't want to have him as your coach. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
He's brutal.
He won't be watching this, sure. I'll send it to him.
Don't. Anyway, the seniors start off. I go and sit with mum and dad because they travel down from Penguin, which is about a 4-hour drive to watch me play and watch the seniors
What's the
play.
names of these joints? Burnie and Penguin.
Devonport, Launceston, they're weird names.
Just people born in Tassie that are a bit weird.
Oh,
Weird in general. Come on, you're a South Australian.
Apparently.
mate, where are you from?
We've got a mate, Howie, he's...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
might as well have 4 heads.
He's not aware.
He's not got 3, he's got 4 heads.
Seriously,
He's not aware.
Where's he from? Austin's Ferry, isn't he? He played for
Dodgers Ferry.
Dodgers Ferry, Austin's Ferry. Dodgers Ferry.
He was telling me the other day the housing market's gone up 40-something%. Up. That was like.
Has he got a house over there?
Yeah, he's building a couple down there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
Do you know
saying
you could buy a house here? If you had a house here that was worth $1 million, it'd be 200,000 in Australia, in Tasmania.
No, I reckon it's gone up though.
It's gone up.
Tassie.
It's relative
Not
to Tasmania,
yeah.
is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Anyway, Dad's watching the show, the seniors with Mum and my uncle. Tim is a bit of a hothead, and there's this old fella standing behind us, old school, got the wireless in, listening to the commentary as he's watching the game, and he was just giving it to Peter German and the seniors, and just swearing crass, real bad. F and C's, and there's kids and women everywhere, and my uncle turns around to her and says, "Stop swearing." And he's like, F off, yeah, again, whatever, Northwestern C. And then my mum turns around and says, "Excuse me, you can't talk like that." And he goes, "Shut up, you stupid C," to my mum.
Did your old man stand up and
So
him or what?
before he even got the T out in that word, my uncle was over there and had him, and this guy was probably 70. My uncle was 35.
Okay, how old are you?
That is feral.
Picks him up, lifts him, and if you know North Hobart Oval, there's a very steep hill on one side on a wing, and it's asphalt, and so he's picked him up and they land on the ground. The transistor radios just smashing to a million bits, and there's people all just standing around just watching, and I swear some of them are going, fight. They roll down the hill. My dad gets up, and it was 2-team. My uncle had him held down, and my dad's just punching it. And he's going,
Oh, he deserved it, boss.
he's missing him. He's hitting the asphalt. He's got blood off his... Great story.
Well, that's one thing once you finish and then watching a few games and going to Jonesy's a few games last year, like that's one thing I've never got watching it from afar. How maybe because we've been involved for a long time, but some of the language used is just horrific.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
It's real
and
bad.
it's just like, and I know they're passionate about their club clearly, but it's just horrific.
There's a greater responsibility as a supporter than you really know.
It's sad. I was like, this is sad.
Yeah.
This is sad.
And it's good that you're doing the Carlton draft thing where it's sort of a controlled environment, because I did the country thing and I played with Ooze up at Shepparton and we
It's like
just...
a footy trip, isn't it? The old cup. But is that...
It should be a bit of fun.
You deserve it, mate. You
I've
deserve
heard,
it.
yeah.
Should be good.
Tip in.
But supporters just swearing and we were playing footy up in Shepparton one day. Ooze... I think actually Shane Woden played in this game. He came over from Perth and we just signed him up for one game. Nathan Brown, who's one of the legend blokes of football, he was playing on the back line. I'm a full forward. I think I kicked 150 that year, but that's another point. Nothing changes.
Always, you just throw the stats in. Oh, yeah.
No. And this bloke was giving it to me. I just...
With this prickly old Can't
Can't leave your room with him.
a few years with him. I was like, shut up.
I won't care. It's my shtick. It's my humour.
Was he watching highlights of himself in the room?
Oh,
Like, no,
Yeah. Oh, and I'm doing the same as you. Oh, look at this kid.
I swear he'd be watching
I'm
it like...
training camp and I'm watching the surf and he's like, oh, look at this.
What's this bloke doing?
What a hanger.
Mate,
Oh, what a goal for Robertson. That's 7.5 on
the old knees up in the bed, crawled over the top.
Oh, my God.
Like dropped to
Come
the
and jump
side.
into bed with me, young fella. Watch this.
I swear that was the type of guy I would have been rooming.
Mate, seriously, I'll be laying in bed and I get a text message, a YouTube link, Robertson highlights. I'm like, why are you sending me this? I just had a look, son.
They roomed you with me so they could show you how not to be. Not at all. Where was I going with this? No.
Sorry,
So when
yeah,
if you have humour like this that I use at every bloody function that we've ever done before, Jones has been at all of them. You open yourself up to a little bit of criticism, and that's fine. You understand that's the territory. So I'd go and play at Shep in the country, and I'm glad you're not playing country footy. Good call, because I'd get some really shady customers just get on this stuff and just lay into me. And by the fourth quarter, in the hot sun, and people are just on the can hill. And then there'd be some people that would support him.
How am I going to get off the ground?
I know. That's exactly how. So this
how am I going to get to my car?
was one game. I'd give it back too. Like just shut up, Robbo, because you're making it worse for yourself. One time
What were you getting a game back in the day when you were in your prime?
Couple of grand.
More than that.
Cash?
You're lying.
$3,000.
Cash?
Cash. Yeah. Don't tell the tax man. It's the only way.
That's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good cash.
How much are you getting for the?
I can't say. It's an undisclosed
Come
amount.
on.
He loves his coin.
Oh, shut up, Riv.
So anyway, I'm playing, and last quarter, this ambulance comes into Lemnos Swans Oval. One of the more shady characters in the town just went up to this fellow who was giving it to me. He said, "Come here, I want to talk to you." Took him behind the shed. He said,
he followed him.
And this big guy too, looked like you, tattoos everywhere.
Chunky,
he goes,
chunky.
Bring your mate, and bring anybody else you want. Come and talk to me now behind the must have been one of those caravan setups. Goes around there, and this bloke with two other of his mates walked up to him, and this, no lie, this has been ratified by a few people. The bloke went to say something before he could say anything. It was a headbutt to the face, and then a knee to the head again.
Oh, wow.
And then his two mates have just gone, see you later. Left him. Ambulance, took him to the hospital.
That's hectic.
So you sort of go, well, why am I doing this? What's the point of this?
$3,000.
$3,000 cash.
Money talks.
That's why. Not because you want to run around in the country and.
Did anyone ask you to play after?
No, I couldn't, mate.
You just couldn't do it.
No, I actually wish I could. It would have been great, but
You fully cooked, huh, with your knee, so it's real bad.
Yeah, well now, yeah.
And
but
that's the other thing.
I was 30 as well. That's you probably got to think about when I did anyway.
Yeah.
This is your family life.
Yes.
You got to be active and it's tough. But people ask me, was it worth it? And it's of course it was.
Yeah.
But right now I'm thinking, jeez, I wish I didn't play.
Yeah. I know.
But it's
How's your neck? How's your?
My neck's fine. It's
because you still got the scars coming along.
Scars
pretty
good, yeah. Yeah, no, it's. I felt it a bit training for the triathlon stuff, like riding my bike with my head tilted back. I get a bit sore, but here's what it is. I can't really do much about it.
part and parcel of it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we had an experience last year, Riv and I, which made me feel great. Being in lockdown, we started up, and you know about this, given that you were over in Perth, and I'm pretty sure you guys were told, we had a WhatsApp group. We've always had a WhatsApp group of past players, but this thing grew legs. It became just a monster, didn't it? Like, everyone from everywhere all of a sudden was in this WhatsApp group being added, and names that all these people that are watching and will watch this and hear this later on would know. It was a wonderful thing to know that you're part of this amazing group of people that have this just ultimate, I'm going to say, love for each other, because you went through something so great. You've got that with so many people now, and you're part of that now. So how do you feel seeing this team now that they're about to go and run on the field? Because I'm trying to remember back when I first finished that first year, like, you sort of feel like you should still kind of be there. Is there any sort of, oh Jesus, I still wish I was going, or are you transition now to?
Nah, not really. Like, I'm pretty happy with life. Like I said, I really took a very wide perspective on everything, and it could have easily gone the other way, but I was like, that's going to haunt me forever. So it's like, I just look at it as like, I gave everything to my footy career, and now I'm on to my next phase of life. Got so many good things to look forward to, so many great things going in my life. Like, I'm real happy for the footy club, absolutely wrapped for my teammates, and I want them to do well for sure. I want them. I hope they win the flag again this year. But the script has been written on my journey. It's like, I'm not going to look back in the rear view. I'm looking forward into what's next. What fun can I have, and what good times can I have with my family? sort of working out what my next career path is. And I think there's so many good things that came out of the premiership, though. Like you alluded to the WhatsApp group, and I think after so many years of struggle, it's pretty epic to see how much that premiership like galvanised so many people, whether that's past players, whether that's the club in general, supporters, everyone, even just general fans. Like Melbourne always sort of seem to be everyone's second team. I think everyone's bloody happy that we finally got there. And I think for me, it's like I'm just hoping that what we have spent so long working towards is now sustainable for a long period of time. And everything I've seen would suggest that, but we all know how fickle it is in the game, and you've really, really got to grab hold of it and not take it for granted. And every player that I've spoken to has that mindset. So that makes it exciting for the season to see, like there's so many they've tapped into them, but there's untapped motivation for the group. Yeah. And by the sounds of it, over the summer, they've really sort of grabbed hold of that. It's not a little thing, but the fact that the premiership was won in Perth in front of a random crowd, like ultimately the whole group as a player, how inspired you would be to repeat that at the G in front of 100,000 Melbourne supporters. So there's plenty of motivation, and we all know it takes a little bit of luck. They're going to need that for sure, but they're in a prime spot, and I'm pretty excited to see how the year unfolds. As a supporter too, just to sit in the stand and drink a beer, eat a pie, and have a laugh.
You've got some fun to have. Don't you worry about that. It's exciting times.
Riv, we'll tee up a few nights.
That was probably the best thing. Like watching it I was more wrapped for, the supporters, the Coda groups, like the guys that you've talked to every time for 10 years, like the Bob Christies, the Gary Wilsons, that are passionate. Put their money in every year. Your player sponsors like my Jen and Patricia that were just love the club so much, and they finally got to witness something. And to see Danner's the ways, now, like to see him actually witness it, not there, but just to watch it, made me feel like, that's so great for them that they're so passionate about the club. It's a really good feeling.
Were you guys like me when you saw Neil get up on the stage at Grand Final Day replay? And hear the crowd ovation for Neil. For me, it made me realise life is so much bigger than just football. Yeah. It's not just... the premiership was huge. It's amazing. It's everything for Melbourne supporters. But the way that the Melbourne supporters responded to him, I just got the biggest goosebumps. And,
he's like... I think I said it. One of the great things that has happened in my career, and I'm real proud to have been a part of it, was when we announced him as part of the Melbourne Hall of Fame. Yeah. And I got to speak on behalf of current and past players. And he's like genuinely transcended footy. Like, it's not even about the game anymore. It's just like what quality human he is, and the admiration so many people have for him, and how relatable, his struggles and his mentality is to the general population. This has gone beyond just him being a Melbourne coach. I think that's the impact that he's had in terms of just inspiring so many people. It's like, for us, like you feel so grateful and honoured to be so close, because he did coach us, and we do know him quite intimately comparative to everyone else. And it's like to us, it probably comes as no surprise, because that's who he was as a person and as a coach. But like it's pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. Like the impact he's had on so many people, and just the job he's done with like Fight M&D, and even just there's just so many things within his journey that just like how long he's lasted, and just being able to fight his way out of it, kind of thing, like just sums him up. Like, what an absolute legend.
It's so well said. 2 years you get given at the start of this disease, basically as a look, this is probably what you can expect. But you're right. People were always saying, we were saying from the start, he'll last way longer than that.
Everyone was saying it, weren't they?
And even like going through all of this, he's obviously, almost 10 years into this. Is this live, Davo? That's live. So obviously, the D's are up against Carlton here at the moment at Etihad. If you're not at Marvel, if you're not in front of a TV, and if you're listening or whatever, it's now 1 goal 6 to 2 goals 113. D's up.
Not great Guernseys, are they?
Nah.
I've never really liked that colour.
No.
It just doesn't
It's
really.
the Clash, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but
So is that a yeah nah for you?
Yeah, nah. Bring
You
the
know, I don't
segment
really
back.
like that Guernsey. Yeah, no.
Hey,
Bring the segment back.
Riv, Royal
Yeah, nah.
Blue Demons jumping.
No.
Christian Petrarca lining
Yeah,
up. Is
nah.
this who's second?
Yeah, I see what you're doing, but nah.
Yeah.
I see you going for that 70s look, but nah.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
Track
Like-
lining up for goal.
Like it, yeah.
I think T-Max kicked the goal, apparently. Someone just said.
T-Mac.
Jenny Love, she was a big part of she's the Patreon, as I like to call it, Davo, last year. Good to hear from you.
She just signed on.
She, along with others, just absolutely loved last year. I was getting onto the fact that we do this WhatsApp thing, and Neil is still in this WhatsApp group coming up with ideas to get us engaged. And
That's
think
so
of things
good.
to do. Like, what was the other one? I don't want to talk about what we do behind closed doors, but he's given us all like a job to do and report back to us as players. It's like he's still our coach.
What a
And
legend.
you know that because his difficulties now with his hands and stuff, you know that
Yeah,
he's not writing them. So you got to be very careful what you're putting in the WhatsApp group. There's a few times Travis Johnson has just gone overboard a little bit, and
Travis.
probably didn't realise what was going on.
A lot of us is going.
But
No, Travis, don't say that. But he
don't
just
do
did.
it. And we know what Travis is like.
Putting up pictures like
No.
it's not the forum for
Oh,
this.
come on, man.
Get him on. You got to get him on.
You got to get him on.
Oh, did we? No.
Did you get him on?
So I rang him,
mate.
I rang him.
He lives in Chelsea or something.
Got in the
Yeah,
car.
mate.
I'm like,
Palm
I'm going to
Beach.
get.
Bob Beach.
I reckon.
Because remember last year, everyone was asking Travis Johnson. We've got to get Travis Johnson.
Oh,
Get
you
rolling.
love
with
him.
him. So I rang him.
Tell you what, it's a sight for sore eyes.
It would make your size sore. I rang him and he said, as soon as he ring, I get this ring. Answers. He goes, nah. No, Robbo, F off. He hung up. He knew exactly what I was calling for.
That's what you want. He's honest.
He is honest. Carl just kicked the goal. Boys, this has been absolutely amazing, and we could talk forever about the real side of AFL football, and I've got this thing about transitions at the moment. I think it's a really interesting part of. We get caught up in the glitz and the glamour of the game and how amazing, obviously, it can be and to watch. But there's a human factor to this as well, which is the guys that are running around, the little bodies that you see running around out there, have got their own lives, their own way of going about it, their own beginnings, and they're also got their endings in the game as well. And as much as we love to stay positive about things, there's some real stuff that's hard to deal with. For me, when I first got the arse, because I got the arse, people say, oh, what was retirement like for you? And I was like, retirement's a lovely word. It's not what it was.
So who told you in the end?
So I had Chris Godley tell me.
So
that
what was he at the time?
he
He
was.
probably had too much to say.
He was.
We should not speak about this.
We won't talk about those times. He was a footy ops at the time.
We should not speak about this.
For me, it was when I finished was exactly what you were talking about, Chunk. It was like, well, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? Because I'm so focused all the time, and I just couldn't sleep. I had what do they call that when you can't sleep?
Insomnia?
Yeah.
For a good 6 to 12 months after it, and went through some really dark times.
What are you going to say? It's children.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that as well, because I had my boy pretty much a year straight after I finished.
Were
So-
you expecting?
I was thinking it's time to have a baby, but then as soon as we
No, I mean like the decision that kind of. Like,
that it was over.
Did you?
I thought we were talking about babies.
No, sorry, I was.
He misread the play.
Which I don't normally do. It's pretty
But
rare to play.
I snapped my Achilles, remember?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that
That's
was
right. I remember that.
too.
pretty much
Cooked.
over. So
Yeah.
I was cooked from there, and things weren't looking great for the club at the time, and
No.
I was sort of looking to the future, and
Yeah.
I knew that, and I understand that. So it's not a James McDonald situation,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I feel like he probably was unfairly dealt with. You were there for that. Was
Yeah.
that as cold as.
That was scarred.
Oh, it's like a few, mate.
Yeah,
There's a few like
scarred.
that.
Yeah.
Like Ooze and Brucey, and there's a few, but
So Brucey jumped ship, saw the writing on the wall a little bit like you, sort of like, okay, I might go and explore other options because I feel like I'm not going to... It was a bad time for the club, and we all understand. We've all gotten over that. For me, I feel like now that I'm a part of a tapestry, like Riv, you might feel this more than Jonesy because you're new to this, but you're part of a certain age demographic of people's lives. Like, I'll come up, people who are around about my age and a little bit older will come up to me and say, "Oh, I used to go and watch you play at the G when life was exciting and fun, and now it's a drag and I've got a job and it's all crap." But you were part of a fun time of my life, so I really love you more than the current day guys.
yeah.
And that's nice to hear that. So it makes you feel like, oh, okay, well, I was a part of the whole thing.
Steve,
And
I cannot believe Steve asked that question.
What is it?
Best rivers to play at the D's.
Yeah, that's a terrible call.
Steve, are you drunk?
One of them's about...
Mate, he's just said it's 2 years in.
Not even.
Isn't it? He's a very good player, though, I must admit.
He's a bit... It's not even a question.
Surprised he
Steve.
hasn't.
Trent all the way.
Trent by mile.
Premiership player.
Jeez,
Fact-
Steve.
What about the fact that there's... Between all of us, there's 4 best and fairest.
Mate, backs never get a vote. You know what the BNF's like. It's a rort.
It is true.
It's always the midfielders.
I will give you that.
I'm going to leave you half cut.
Joke.
Kia Carnival's not going to get home.
He's
I
always
think
been
an Uber.
Hey, always been an toucan cent. He
that
has
is
2 or 3
bullshit.
beers and he gets
Is that
a little
true?
bit off track.
I reckon I've seen you drunk.
Oh.
I haven't gone
Rivers.
out with you.
Well, now he's weighing 30 kilos. It will probably go to his head.
Yeah, you're
I reckon.
You're
Yeah,
so
go.
fit. You're one.
I reckon I'll be fitter now than I was when I played.
Yeah.
absolutely different kind of fit to
Oh,
triathlons
it's like
to
painful fit.
to
Yeah.
footy.
Yeah, true.
We're getting a little bit caught up watching the game here. It's Carlton this year, Jonesy. What do you reckon? Are they going to be any good?
Oh,
He looks skinnier.
no.
Croops.
No. Good to
I
hear.
don't think so.
Big shout out to Vince at Local Italian, just around the corner here. Your
he-
new cafe, you go there a fair bit, don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I just started working around the corner from here.
He
I've got
told
a job
me.
in property development. I
There's a
actually had a
question.
chat to him the other day.
Yeah, he told me. I haven't asked the
Good
question.
cafe.
What are you doing with yourself now, vocation-wise, both of you? So, Jonesy?
Yeah, well, I was real lucky that I got an opportunity a couple of weeks ago to sit down with a property developer in Bayside, and yeah, I got offered the chance to be involved in like development management, which it's always been an interest, obviously through footy, you know, investing and those kind of things. So
Yep.
I jumped at that chance. I was probably not expecting it. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting it. I sort of just took coffee to chat about where to go, and yeah, I just got an offer, and I was like, "Yep, I'm having a crack at it." And then other than that, I'll probably, from a footy perspective, I do a little bit of work at my kids' school, and like with some coaching and that kind of thing, and I reckon I'll do a little bit of media stuff.
Yeah.
Just working through what that looks like.
Hopefully radio.
Hey, head for radio.
I said hopefully radio.
Shut up. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I had a crack a week or two ago on the AFLW.
Did ya?
First go.
How'd you go?
Someone said that on the comments before.
Yeah, no, I had
Special
I had a lot
comments.
of fun actually. I was
So did you know, like, you had to go through all the players and...
yeah. Well, it was a Melbourne game, so that helped me a lot.
Did it?
It was Melbourne North, big win out at Casey. But yeah, I went down there and cut my teeth and had a bit of fun. Sort of see what happens there. But
Special comments.
yeah, a bit of special comment stuff.
Not
So
late,
I don't know. Wait and
yeah.
see. We've got a few things happening, and then obviously add the family into that and the triathlons into that, and I'm pretty busy.
You would be busy just with the kids alone. It's like, maybe all this other stuff is to get away from
when you
there.
sit there, he goes, "Yeah, got all this spare, like, still got downtime." I'm like,
Oh.
"How do you get downtime?"
I don't really have that much downtime, and Jerry thinks I'm crazy. I got up at 4:30 and rode this morning,
You are crazy. She's right. I would.
but I feel good. Let's have another beer.
It's done. See, I was going to end the show up, but I feel like it's just getting to a point now.
Yeah.
Riv, you, what are you doing now?
No, so I'm still coaching. I'm coaching collegians, which we spoke about earlier.
Yep.
So once I had a bit of a bad experience with coaching the AFL. I was there for 4 or 5 years in the AFL system, and then
Yep.
went to North, and they went pear-shaped with COVID and what have you, and then had a year in the construction project management industry as well, and
Yep.
then again COVID hurt me there as well. So currently just coaching the collegians, and now I'm looking for another bit more serious job outside of coaching. So
Well, there you go. You heard it here first, folks. Ribs is after a job. What is that
I'm
job?
employed, but I'm not.
No, but a better job.
I need a bigger job.
What would you like to do? You two should go into business together.
We should stay in that space, you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Like, it was good to have experience in it, so I'm just trying to. And it's a workforce that's going to be like, there's a lot of work with it, so it's always going to be there. So I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the operational side of it, because I looked after 10 or 12 subbies on the books, and so I enjoyed that space.
Yep.
So
Yep.
mate, there's a bit out there. I'm looking at another role at the VIS as well, which is like a coaching,
Yeah, right.
a role development with all coaches with all sports. So
Yeah.
yeah, so just waiting. Not going to rush into it, but yeah, it's a good moment. Actually spending a bit more time with the family, which the wife is, I think, enjoying. I think.
I was on the opposite end. Terry's like, get a job. Get away from me.
I must admit, like, yeah, they're going, what, Dad, why are you home all the time?
Don't like it. Can't do the things that I usually do.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go to work. The coaching's still good, mate. I still enjoy it, and it's an outlet for me as well. So
Yeah. See, I was never going to get into coaching. I flat out knew that it wasn't for me. There's a
Yeah.
lot of hours in coaching, isn't there?
yeah,
A lot of
especially it's and in the VAFA, it's, you know, they don't get paid, these players, so they just rock
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
you know, help out with work at times. But so that's that balancing of trying to how hard do you push them, how hard do you. But no, I've enjoyed it. It's a good outlet, and yeah.
No thoughts, both of you, to start your own sort of business on the side?
Oh, I need
alcohol business.
I would,
I'd lose
100%.
all my profits.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same, man.
I taste everything.
Oh, 100%.
That's what we thought when we heard Nita and Hoppy were starting up their own.
I can't believe Nita's.
Those two started a beer company. Have a look at them, seriously.
Is Hoppy still?
Yeah, he's still in it,
Yeah,
and they're about to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're going real good.
They've actually done really well.
And every time I see Nita, I'm like, you know what Stone and Wood sold for recently? You know what? Some of those like boutique beers, man, like
Yeah, but
hundreds of-
Stone and Wood's beers taste really nice.
Oh,
That's
you heard it here first.
that's
He's
probably
tasted
that's
it.
probably the clear difference in it.
That's stiff.
Nah, his lager's alright. His
Yeah,
lager's
the lager's good. I
Lager's
like
not
it.
too bad.
We
The
did.
other one,
Pale ale.
he's got a few actually.
Yeah, I haven't tried them.
Yeah.
With Danaher Drive, they supplied the beer for the Danaher Drive whenever we would do an event on the drive. So there was always Carlton Drafts, and there was also Social Beast. And every time we went to the bar, we'd always send Anita and go, Carlton Drafts.
What was the other one called? Splash and Tango.
Splash
They've
and
gone
Tango.
away from that
There's-
though now.
There's
They've
another
gone
one.
like,
Yeah, what's the new one called?
no, the two new ones are good.
Yeah, the lager. I think he's got. I think they're going back to the lager, which is probably a smart decision.
And they got into. I think they're
Can
getting
you
into.
ease up?
I'm not going to get
Get
any more
around
beers
him.
off him. I probably won't get into his
Any more? I
his
haven't
joint.
been given anything.
Where's his joint though? He's got a new.
Oh yeah.
Those are the
the Bells Hotel.
Bell's Hotel in South
They're about
Melbourne.
to do like a brewery and like
Yeah.
a rooftop bar and a bar. Like it'll be awesome.
So I probably won't get let in there after more
Yeah.
comments. But
Well, yeah, that's a real clanger from you.
alright.
Anyway, I
Check it
love
out,
Brewmanity bits.
I love the Tango and Cash. Is it Tango and Cash?
Splash.
Splash.
Chunk's transitioning into the non-footballer life quite well. Pump people up and get free stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Mate, gotta cash
Very
in.
smart. You do.
You know what it's all about.
I know. I've done that a lot.
No, I'm joking.
The avocado, Jenny Love, is still at the So boys. I had this avocado on the table because of the whole Melbourne. We had a platter thing at the start, just to try to design the room up a little bit. And this has not left the table, not once, since that
Jesus.
last
Smell
home and
it,
away
mate.
last year.
Smell?
What has happened to it?
Stayed, and we think it's the good luck charm. It's
Wow,
been-
it's like rock hard.
It's yeah, it's not good.
No, not good at all. The club at the moment, Chunk, I think we need to, well, shouldn't write at this moment. 5 goals, 1 Carlton 31.
Mate,
2,
we'll be
2,
right.
14.
It's just a pre-season game.
How much do you?
Everyone's flying.
These days, because back in the day when it was the Ansett Cup and it was
Yeah.
the Foster's Cup, and it was a lot of credence put into winning a premiership in the night grand final, as they called it back then. What about now, Chunk? This day and age,
Well, they'll be pretty serious because this will be
It's
the
only one,
last
isn't
hit
it?
out
Or one
for
official.
round 1. They'll be trying a few little things. I don't know how much you look into, like us obviously being, almost probably, as far as Carlton goes, we'd be a month, 5 weeks behind them.
Yeah, that's a good.
And
astute
they're
comment.
probably like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're still at a pretty high level with training. Like they're not sort of tapering off just yet. Like they would have come into this game relatively fatigued.
Yeah.
Crunch out this one. They'll probably play a half scratch match next week, and
Yep.
then they'll start to taper for round 1 and freshen right up. So I wouldn't look too much into it. But in saying that, like winning games and getting confidence, it's always the key. So they'll have high expectations. So it'll be nice for them to sort of
challenged.
just get challenged and sort of find their feet and find their rhythm and their groove again, and they'll be fine, mate.
I don't know if I should ask you about our current coach. Obviously, you've been under him for a while. You had experience with Neil Danaher. You had experience with a couple of guys in the middle there as well. Rather than tell me what he's like as a guy, but the coaching styles between Neil Danaher and Simon Goodwin, because that's probably, it goes to show how much football's changed. And the differences.
Well, that's the first thing I was going to say. Like a lot has evolved since then.
Yeah.
And you only have to look at the current generation of guys that have come in. They're just super different. They are a lot more open to feedback, and they want to be a lot more it's a bit more old school when I first started. Whereas like Goody doesn't really like raise his voice much, and a lot of it is around teaching and getting confidence through execution, and it's a lot more systematic than what it was when I first started. Fundamentally, the whole game is still the same. But yeah, I think that's one thing I'm grateful for, is that being able to see the evolution of us being such a rabble of a club and then become the best team in the competition.
Yeah.
I think as an organisation, to see the cultural evolution has been like really rewarding, and I've really loved Goody's coaching style. He kept things very simple. There's key parameters that needed to be met from an individual point and a team standpoint, and he didn't deviate from it. Like it wasn't like if we won, he'd blow his stack.
Right.
I mean, if we lost, he'd blow his stack, and if we won, it was like we won the flag. It was just even all the time, and it was like build consistency. And whether we won or lost, we'd just review the same things all the time, like the same key points, the same parameters, the same standards, and over time, like it just became ingrained.
Yeah.
And there was then a really clear expectation of like how we wanted to play, how we wanted to perform, what your expectation was, what my expectation was, like, and everyone was just super clear.
Right.
And you weren't expected to deliver any more than just that. And that's where we built the culture off that. And there was an element of like selflessness and team first and like elite performance. And those were the things that drove us as a group. And people would say, "Oh, how did it so quickly change from like what happened in 2020, but like, and then 2019, and like why are we so good in 18?" But for me, like I look at it as like just the maturity. Like you look at guys like Track, 3 years younger. They're now 25, 26.
Prime.
Yeah, and they've got all those experiences of us making a prelim and then cooking our preparation and falling right off the perch and then fighting our way back and being not too bad but not quite there because we still got like little like incremental improvements, and you got to focus on the small things. And we review all of that really hard at the end of 2020, and then we put a really tight package together around expectations and like what you roll, and then we just delivered on that week after week after week. And that's sort of
That's
how it all came together.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's really at the end of the day, it all boils down to what I'm hearing there is communication.
Yeah.
Is just clear communication and getting across to everybody what their expectations are, what we expect, and then continued
Yeah.
without going over the top, up here, down here, which is probably where a lot of coaches have got it wrong in the past, and not just coaches. It's interesting for everybody out there, and for you, Dave, as well, in a business sense. You know, we've seen them all, and I know I've seen them all as well. Some that are really great at it, some that are poor at it, and where do you get the results from? Because everyone wants a culture. Everyone wants to see where, we want a great culture at the club.
Yeah.
How do you
You
get
summed
this?
it up though. Like everything really comes back to your ability to be able to like speak what you want and hold people accountable, but hold them accountable in a good way, like in a way that rises them up, helps them improve, and helps them evolve, kind of thing.
What about you, Riv? You've seen some coaches too, and you've gone down to Geelong, which has traditionally been a pretty good club at finding its way back to being good again after having an average year, maybe, which is not too often.
No, Jonesy's right. Like, it's just a simplicity of, like, you're right, mate. Footy hasn't changed a hell of a lot.
No.
All about contested ball, all those little things are key to it. But I think understanding your role within that is the key.
Yeah.
And as a coach, if you simplify it as best you can for each player, you're going to get the best result out of them. So, and one thing now with these young kids that I've learned is, especially these days, everyone learns and accepts feedback differently. So you've got to spend time with each player. Like, you can't expect to get results out of 15 players if you only speak to one or two. Yeah. So
that's why they talk so much about like investing time in relationships.
Yeah, investment is just critical, and being yourself, mate, is key as a coach as well. Because I've had times when I was coaching the VFL at Collingwood where I felt like I had to be someone else, and it completely didn't work. Coaches and players sort through it. So if you're not yourself, players see it, and then they go, "Well, I'm not going to follow you," or what have you, because you're not, you're not doing what you should be doing. So it's just, you got to be yourself, and if it works, which is great. And you got to adapt as well. Clearly, if you're not doing the right things as a coach. So
that's brilliant and great insight.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because you guys all play footy, I don't. I work in business and grew up playing hockey. So, and for me, it was always, whenever I would see my friends playing footy, it was always hard. Like, they were always just like, "You're shit. You need to do this. You need to work hard. You need to do that." In hockey, it was always just like, "You're doing really well. You just need to do a bit more of that." Yeah. Has it changed? Because you're all different generations, right? So, Jones, you've gone through. Has it changed heaps now? Because, like, if you're at your end of a marathon and you're running your ass off to get to the end, and you got someone going there going, "Not fast enough," you're just not. What? You're just going to go like, "Fuck, I don't want to do it anymore."
As
opposed to picking you up.
That's what I was saying. Like, the old school mentality it's so, like, for me, it's so obvious how much that shifted. And it all came back to being like the willingness to be able to communicate. So that, like, there's like buzzwords around like culture and vulnerability and relationships and stuff, but ultimately it just came down to you being completely honest. Like everyone buys into the standard that you're trying to commit to, and like the direction you want to go in, and what expectations you guys have as a team and individually and stuff. And then it was just like around communicating that. Are you or aren't you doing it? Hold them accountable to it. It's not berating them, but it's like, you did this well, but you've got to get better here. And that like fostered learning and improvement and encouragement and positivity. Versus if I hammer you down, more than likely percentages would say that majority of people aren't going to respond to that. They're going to walk away and procrastinate on that and feel negative about themselves, and they're going to struggle to be able to process it, and you're not going to get the positive reaction that you want. And that's ultimately the shift I made, and Goody was real big on that, like around language and the words you use, and how you explain stuff, how you coach, and all those kind of things. And ultimately then he sort of filtered that down into the assistant coaches, because they're a reflection of the senior coach, and they've got to be able to do their job just as well as he does it. And
it's the same message, isn't it?
Yeah, like they've all got to be on the same page, and you can't have like back channeling, and it's got to be, this is the expectation, and you coach him hard on this. Not like coach says one thing, assistant coach like fudges the message a little bit, player walks away thinking, what was he saying? Like, am I going good or going bad?
Yeah,
Like, you would walk into a meeting and be like, thought I did this good, need to improve this, walk out, done. Easy. But there's be times throughout my career where you'd be like, I don't actually know if I'm going that good or did I play that well? Like, yeah, I think that's the art of coaching, like 100%. Like, being able to just verbalise it.
And it gets harder the more people you have involved in an organisation. I feel like when Neil was there was probably like 2 other guys underneath him. So we always went back to him. But what a massive job for one person to do.
Yeah.
When you're looking after not just the players, but there's also the whole organisation. I feel like Neil had to do that. We had no money to pay for new, like the West Coast Eagles could, skill coaches and set up at your club.
Bikes.
And he did.
We had 3.
Hey, how about the gym early days?
We had 3 at Junction O.
There's possums and rats and shit. I had like some metal.
Squad of 50, we had 3 bikes.
Like, man, that was next level.
Wonder why we were fucking horrid at the time.
Do you remember you come into the gym sometimes? Jonesy's on TV right now.
Oh.
Come into the rooms and to the weight room, and there'll be something that's just been built by some bloke, some carpenter's coming to build something. Like what's that?
You just screwed a chin up bar on the wall. Oh, boys, we can finally do chin ups.
It's like a tricep thing. You get on that and you do this, and that's what that is. It's, some bloke made it. Like West Coast had gone buy the best space age. No,
Wow. Anyway,
it made us better. But hey, I love what you said, because I think there's some real take homes there. But the other thing there is you've got to have people that will receive that.
yeah.
So you can have all of this set up, right? And what about when you're coaching? What do you do with somebody that is not receiving any of this stuff that you've set up? Is it just one of those things where they've got to, well, look, it's just, this is not for you? Or
Well, I think in the AFL industry, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah.
you
And if
have
you don't
to be
buy in,
open to that. And if you're not, see
yeah,
it.
see you, mate.
Yeah.
And so it
Like,
still is
that's
brutal.
That's
like
how
that.
cutthroat the competition is. Like, you want to be involved in elite sport.
Yeah.
There's an element of like you running your own show, but you also have to be open to growing and improving and being better. And if you're not, all you're going to do is so many times like you behave your way into the culture or you behave your way out, and you get found out.
I love it. I love that as a quote. Remember that. That's absolutely brilliant. Behave your way in, behave your way out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't remember it.
no, I don't. The key word, vulnerability. Something that, wow, when I was playing footy,
Yeah, you
come from the old school, you weren't vulnerable. You had to show that you were really tough. You could take anything and don't worry about it. I got this. You don't need to talk to me.
probably work a drunk, don't I? Couple of empty bottles in front of me.
How's our
Sorry, mate.
How's our Uber memberships going at the moment?
I'm actually going to have to Uber. I could probably walk, actually. You're just around the corner.
Yeah, you're not far from me, are you?
Yeah. Bottom of the hill. On the beach. No, I'm
Right,
joking.
right.
I'm not really.
You can't talk either, Reeve. You got a pretty nice
Absolute
pad there in
palace.
Sandringham.
Nah, it's not.
Palace with a pool and a spa and
Kids.
Had a few sessions in the backyard there.
let's talk about one of them.
That's not appropriate.
Yeah, well.
They were good times.
Yeah.
Nita had a spa back in the day.
Well, I don't want to know what happened to that.
At the end of the season, it was in working order. But then Nita's one of those guys that once he starts drinking, he doesn't stop. So he started drinking at the last game of the year. He started drinking the last game of the year and he stopped drinking at the start of pre-season. So there was this 2 months or 3 months where the spa didn't get any attention in terms of chemicals of what it needed. And we'd spent a few nights in that spa in the early part of the...
It's disgusting.
Oh my God. There were
I don't
things,
want to know.
there was things growing in that spa.
How'd you
That,
survive that?
I don't know. That which doesn't kill you. We were vulnerable.
Oh,
So he's
just
going to
taking
that.
away out of
He's going to
context.
that.
We were vulnerable people. Jump in the spa? Yeah, nah. Good times.
Thanks for having us.
I've got a feeling like, well, I said to you we
We're
were going to
wrapping
go
it up. It's almost my bedtime. I was up at 4:30.
half an hour. Did you bring your
Two
bike to
cans
ride?
fine. He'll be hitting his head in the microphone in a minute.
We are going to... I actually think we better
It's been a
wind
big
it up.
day, guys. Full-time job. Professional triathlete.
The real world.
10 beers after work. I'm only joking.
Oh, and you got Friday drinks tomorrow as well.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I've got
Jesus.
40th tomorrow night. Racing a triathlon on Sunday.
Oh, God.
What are your office hours? Are you in there at all? Or are you
Hey, am
Work
I in
from
there?
home?
It's a,
9 to
9 to
5?
5.
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
No one's not too bad, though. Starting.
Nah, 9's good, yeah. So I get school drop-off with the kids.
It's better than being like a site manager or something where you're there at like 6:30 or something.
and
I'm
still
still-
finish at 5.
Oh,
I'm still not 9 to 5. I did it for a little while at Melbourne when I was marketing. I have avoided it.
So you've done a bloody
Smart.
good job. I don't know, you've weaseled your way around.
Somehow,
I'm always-
geez, you're a good talker.
I am a weasel.
You're a bloody good talker.
I think that's probably brilliant, and a good way to finish up. We've got some footy going on at the moment that people are tuning into.
No worries, Jack.
Some take home messages that I really wanted to get. I obviously wanted to see Jonesy, the current day player,
Maxie.
but I wanted to. He has a propensity to do that.
If that was the prelim, he kicks that.
What about Max as a captain? And you've been in there with.
Mate, I thought you were wrapping this up. I can't go all day, or else I'm going to have to charge you overtime.
He's not even getting paid anything.
um,
Last one.
what a ripper.
Great. That's enough.
Like, ultimately, like, everything I sort of said about, like, being able to adapt to change, like, he personified that, like.
I still remember him
Yeah,
smoking a dart.
darts on the way out to Casey, and
Well,
have a
it's
look at him now. Like,
8 a.m. in the morning.
Uh,
That's what I
he is
said.
Relaxed
he's
attitude.
he's an amazing player, but his ability to again, like he just has this innate ability to sort of mix with everyone from the youngest to the oldest,
Right.
and he just brings everyone together. He's got this like funny kind of presence, and he does it his own way because he's a genuine character. But now he's coupled that with like maturity and understands his responsibility, and he's just become such an amazing captain.
yeah.
It's probably like one of the, if not the biggest
Characters.
name now in the
Yeah.
NFL. Like he's just
He's,
because of his ugly beard and the way he stands out. But
what about when he shaves it off though? Oh, it's a pill.
It's a
poor wife,
weak
poor
chin.
Jess. Sleeping next to that every night.
thinking?
I'm just sleeping next to that every night. Oh, it's like a nightmare.
His eyes are that wide apart too. Far out. And it only ever gets enhanced when he shaves up here. Thankfully, he doesn't shave it.
It doesn't look like it. If you watch him on TV or media, when you're standing in front of me, you do think as he's
Mate,
talking to you.
Oh, you got to get a photo of him up like when he was like
He's a ripper.
18. Woo! His head. Well, that's
Yeah.
a mint kick.
That's a great kick. That's
No,
another
kick that
goal.
far,
Carlton on
Cubs.
fire. Getting done at the moment.
I'm going to take back what I said earlier. I think Carlton might be alright this year.
Yeah, true.
Thanks for joining us, boys. I really appreciate that. You can finish up your drinks, and we're going to have a couple more when this goes off. If you don't want to go home.
Are you supposed to plug something for
Gotta
that
try
thing you're
this
doing on the
scotch.
weekend?
That is true. So I'm playing a gig this
Oh,
Sunday.
God, not another gig. See you, boys.
But it's a
Oh my god.
giveaway.
I'm off, lads.
I'm
Have you got the thing?
Where's the gig? Where is it? Because I'm gonna drive away from it.
I'm actually going to go there and just berate.
Throw shit at me. These guys know me too well. I'm playing a gig at the Sound
Oh, here
Garden.
we go. Have a look at him.
The Sound Garden. There it is. Davo's going to put it up. It's,
Robbo live at the Sound Garden.
It's
Fitzroy Street? No.
no,
Where is it?
no. It's
You don't
in
even know.
Templestowe.
Some Yarra Valley Country Club.
Mate, I'm a Bayside. We are Bayside boys. I'm not going to bullying.
You don't have to go there. In fact, I don't want you to go there.
Oh my god! Can
bag
you
the
play at
shit
the
out of it.
local? What about the Sandy? Can we get him on at the Sandy or
Oh, it sounds probably a bit too.
Do you know? I
too
play,
good for him?
No, the other one.
Come to the Arco Bar. Bring the kids to the Arco Bar. I play there often. That's a great place for families to go and watch some music.
So you got a few gigs going
and have
on
a
there.
feed.
You could pick everyone up in your
Mate.
Kia.
I
The
could,
carnival.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good idea.
I could
And
could
he
run like that.
has 2 beers in his fist,
Ah,
so he
shut
can probably
up.
drive as well after 2 beers.
Here he goes. This is like standard. He's ran this same joke for like 20 years. Yet you're the bloke. Every time we drink, you're in the corner going,
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so your buck show started at
"Oh, you can't talk about this as personal."
it started at 10 a.m.
Started at 10 a.m.
and you're in bed by 11:30 a.m. Or you
a.m.
actually-
That's correct.
a.m. You were an hour and a half. You lasted.
Yeah, but you idiots, like,
They smashed it, didn't they?
smash me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a glass like this.
Yes, mate. We gave him
We
3
play.
beers.
We play
gave him
lawn
3 beers.
bowls. Lawn bowls. Like, give me a glass like that with Sam Booker. I'm like, drink it. I'm like, I've had 1 beer.
Credit to him though. He came back out.
I came back
Had a
out.
sleep, had a little snooze.
Yeah, so my brothers took me home and I had
Oh, jeez, I wish I had that photo.
I had Barocca, bread, Panadol, everything, and it came good at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and came back out. But I hate
Yeah,
all of you
that-
for
we
that.
probably went too hard with you at that
That's
stage.
a good mark.
Anyway, we're getting off topic here.
I had to scull a jug on my because I was on the footy trip when I had my bucks. I had to scull a jug and that was the enemy. It was done.
Mate,
It was a stupid thing to do.
You've never been a massive drinker though. have you?
No. That was a stupid thing to do because like, it was over,
Yeah, it was-
guys.
so I hated that too. I hate all you blokes for doing that to me.
We had Simon Godfrey once, I reckon. He went on the footy trip and didn't.
Didn't
So-
drink.
Well, so when we had a skull, for example, he would scull a glass of milk.
Oh,
Like
We
I
made him
yuck!
because
That
he.
would be so rank.
he
That'd
decided-
be worse than drinking beer.
was just like, I don't know why you even come. What would you
Why
do?
are you here? He decided not to drink, and there was a good reason for that.
Yeah,
which
'cause
we
he
won't go
Frank the
into.
Tank.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah. What a nickname.
We made him scull lemonade, or we'd make him scull milk, or just
Yeah,
any
just-
like okay, you don't drink, that's fine. Scull milk,
Yeah.
jug of it.
What
We
about
made
my
him-
first footy trip? You made me scull a bottle of Capilano honey.
What?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yes, Nita made me do it. He
Yeah,
was
Nita.
he was
Maybe I
the, he was
do.
the, he was
Why?
the boss of the.
Yeah, the monkey. Why?
That was when footy trips were allowed. Now not
Oh,
not
nice.
anymore.
Not anymore. Why honey?
I
Those are
did
the
dance
days.
on the bar though and won like $500 voucher. Dance on the
let's,
bar.
let's
Like,
wrap this up. Let's
took,
wrap this
I
up.
took my top off and was just like,
Oh,
and won a $500 voucher for the boys. And that was my first year. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm killing it.
acceptance. I love it. Oh yeah, we better because we're going to get in trouble for sharing stories on footy
Yes,
trips, which
exactly.
we're not allowed to do.
None of that ever happened. We're lying.
Some of those stories are the best. So yes, I do have to say this. I'm playing at the Soundgarden, and this is. Did you know that Stephen Tingo used to work at this Yarra Country Club back in the day? He was a greenskeeper. That's his. If you ever, there's
Fun
a little
fact.
bit of trivia,
Anyway,
fun
wrap
fact
it
for you. It's just enthralling stuff. That's why you tuned in. Sunday, I'm playing at the Soundgarden. You can check it out online. But I got a voucher, three vouchers, free meals. Free meals.
Do love a meal, clearly, as you can tell. As you
Simply
can see.
present this voucher and receive a complimentary dinner for 2. Okay? I'm going to give it randomly to 3 people right now. Is that what we should do, Dave?
Sure.
You've got to add some. Are you going to put it up on the screen, or have you already done that?
We've got to
Put it
get
up
one
on
to
the-
Ben Shady. He's like written
Ben
about
Shady.
8,000 comments.
Slim.
You've got one.
Slim Shady.
You've got one, Ben. They've got to be able to go. It's this Sunday. Is any who wants? Maybe that's what it is. Have a look at this voucher. If you can go on Sunday this afternoon, dinner for 2 for you, free at Soundgarden, and music because I'll be playing with Mr. Aaron Shambry, an amazing
Looks
musician.
like you're playing next to Ricky Pettard right there. Do you reckon? Really? Have a look
It
at him.
does. It does look like that. So, if you can tell me you're going to be there on Sunday, you've got one of these. I've got to wait and see. I'm going. Tim Carr, you've got one. Free meal for 2. That's you. You're the first one. I've got 2 more. 2 more. Who can go on Sunday at the Soundgarden, listen to some
No,
live
I'm
music?
busy, mate. I can't get
You
there.
weren't invited, Riv. You'd throw shit at me. You physically would. You're
Guys
too
and
busy
girls,
training.
sounds like a ripper.
Jones would be too busy training.
Nothing
somewhere.
better on a Sunday.
I'll see you there.
A few beers. A few beers.
Tim Carr's got himself a free meal. You're on, no worries at all, mate. Carlton streaming away with this at the moment, 44-15, 7 goals 2 to 2 goals 3. Unfortunately, it's just a pre-season game.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
Jonesy said, they're a little bit ahead in their development for us. Good to see Tom Tomlinson. What's his nickname?
Adam Tomlinson's Tomo.
He's nicknamed Tomo. Good to see him playing again, and looks like he's moving okay. Although
Absolutely,
he's just
yeah.
had a
He's
goal
put
kicked on
in.
him.
He's put in so much time and effort. Like it was one of the tragedies. Well, if it was the only tragedy really, bar probably Jaden Hunt, I reckon, out of last season.
And you.
That wasn't a tragedy, mate.
So it was for the rest of us.
But yeah, like it's a credit to him. He's put in so much work, and it's nice to see him back out there. I think if anyone deserves it, he's put in so much time and committed so much to get right.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him play a full year because he was going so well in those first 5 or 6 rounds last year.
Good player, isn't
Yeah, he is. Just keep it
Well-
real simple. He's a terrific one-on-one defender.
Was he...
Speak of the devil.
There he is there. You could comment a bit more on that, being a defender. He's similar to you in his role that he plays. Similar height. He is tall, isn't he, Josie? When you stand next to him, you're like...
Yeah. No, he's
Probably
solid
better looking,
boy.
mate, but yeah, he's a similar player.
You or him?
No, he's definitely better looking.
It's a good-looking rooster.
Underrated, Rick. You're underrated.
Yeah, solid 6. No, with like Lever and those guys, mate, you can clearly tell the back line, just the connection they have is great. So it makes it look easy, probably from the outside looking in, but it takes time, clearly.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they're going well, the boys.
Tim Carr, make sure you chuck up your email address for me, mate. We'll send you across the freebie. Anybody else wants to come to the Soundgarden? It seems like there's a lot of takers, really. I'm not surprised.
We haven't really talked it up.
No, I seriously can see. Should we maybe get a little bit now from you? So then some of these
Sing a
guys,
song.
Are you going to play?
Maybe you got.
We've been trying to get him
you
to
got
play all year.
Yeah,
4
we won't.
guitars. You got amps. You got.
And you won't.
It's a small room, so it probably won't sound as bad if you in a bigger room.
That's your rationale.
I've got no idea.
Small
I've
rooms
got no idea about music,
won't
so
sound as
I wouldn't know.
Can you give us a few, like just lyrics?
What's your favourite song at the karaoke, Riv?
Oh, jeez. Blue Suede Shoes, pretty good.
Really? Dave O can play guitar. You can start playing Blue Suede Shoes.
Mr. Jones, clearly that's a great one. When you,
Counting Crows.
when you had a few cans in you,
Oh.
which is most nights.
Sweet.
I'll sing that.
Just every night.
Off to bed. He's off to bed every night.
I'm going to wind it up, boys.
Mr.
I'm going to
yeah.
let you go. It's
Let me go.
It's been absolutely brilliant. Ken, on behalf of Riv and myself, because we've been doing this retirement thing for a little while, you're doing it now. Congratulations on an amazing career. And I was genuinely emotionally proud of you on the 300th game. I think you saw that when I came up to you. It's strange, really. So you sort of watched someone for so long, and you played footy with someone. We didn't play together for a long time, unfortunately. It's just the way it goes. But the way you battled through all those tough times, I think that's what made it so great for me. We were terrible for a long time, and it's got a lot to do with a lot of other things. But during that time, you battled your ass off to keep this club relevant, and you know,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, put your heart and soul into it, and everybody loves you for that reason. Much less your football ability, obviously that shines through, but it was what you did to keep our club relevant through tough times. So, congratulations on that.
Thanks, mate.
You should be proud of that, and retire now and feel proud of that. I've got to that point a long time after my career ended. I wish I'd got that earlier. You should feel it from the start. It was a power of work, and it was so worthwhile. And look what the result was, you know, because that's a tapestry you're a part of that put that together, and we won a premiership. So we thank you so much, and everybody that's watching this and will watch this. I know it says 26 up there, but there's a few other platforms that see this would echo that sentiment. So thanks for joining me
Thank
tonight.
you,
It's
mate.
good
No,
to
I
see
appreciate
ya.
it. No, it was good fun.
Stop
Thank
making
you.
me feel bad by running past me every, on Beach Road.
That ain't going to change.
Like,
He messaged me after and said, when you run slow, just text me. I was like, never messaged you.
I'd love to go through you. But he was going so fast.
Oh, mate, it's ridiculous. He's
For
doing
a jog.
He's tipping in.
For like how far did you run that day? 10? More?
I don't know. Maybe, I was down, that's about 15, I reckon.
I hope you were doing fartlek running, because that was a massive pace. That's for 15 Ks at that pace. Jesus
That's
Christ.
just silly.
Well done. Good luck with your triathlon
Cheers, bro.
career.
Thanks for having me.
Shut us off. And this one over here.
Yeah, Rivers.
The best Rivers that ever played for the Melbourne.
Yeah, who was
Football
it?
Club. Ben Chatham.
I want that bloke's name.
Was it Tim Carr?
An email
No,
address.
it wasn't Tim Carr.
But
It was
not
Ben
Tim
Chatham,
Carr,
wasn't
so
it?
right.
You're an absolute
I'll
gem.
find him out.
Riv, search him
I'm going to
out.
scroll back through the comments.
I'll scroll back for sure.
See you later, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week with another Robbo Live.